And a very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to our coverage of Preston Indian football tonight. I'm Dan Hubbard, glad to be with you. Over the next 20 minutes or so, as we count down to kickoff, we'll look at tonight's matchup between the Indians and the Bobcats. We'll chat with Indians head coach Eric Thorson. We'll also have the keys for tonight's game, and we'll look at some of the other games going on around the region. Preston Indian football is brought to you in part by Ron Keller Tire, Valley Implement, Preston Auto Parts, CarQuest, Lewiston State Bank, Franklin County Medical Center, My Local Radio, West Motors, Stokes Market True Value, S&T Electric, Vantage Plus Federal Credit Union, and Idaho Salvage. Again, we come to you live from Skaggs Event Center on the campus of Burley High School here in Burley, Idaho, on the lovely banks of the Snake River, as tonight the Indians hit the road for the final time this year and come here to Burley to face the Bobcats on, for them, what is senior night, as the Bobcats honored their senior players on the football team just a moment before we went on the air. And always nice to have a celebration like that. But for the Indians, they're looking to celebrate a win as they come in having lost the last three, even though they came away with a good contest last week, but still ended up coming up short. I'm joined on the broadcast tonight by Val Cook. You've seen the last of the 6 games so far this year, and last week, as we talked to a coach before the game, at least I did, a moral victory of sorts against one of the best teams in the state, but all in all, it was still a loss.
The best team in the state. And it was, you're right. I've seen every game except the first one this year, the one against Jerome, which was one of their victories for Preston Indians. But the game they played against Central in the Holt Arena at the Idaho State University campus really kind of stuck a knife in the guts of the players.
Right.
And it took them a week to come back from that, and they ended up losing that game. And then they come back in last week, faced the number 1 team in the state in 4A competition, and they hold them to fewer points than any other team in the state has been able to hold Minico to so far this year.
Yeah, before last week, Minico had scored at least 40 points in every game, and last week the
28.
The Preston defense held them to less than 30, which, again, a moral victory of sorts, but in the end,
still a
loss, unfortunately. So the defense hopefully will play the way they played again last week, and for the offensive side of the ball, they're going to rely again on a couple of people, and that, of course, we're talking about the quarterback Ty Hyde and their featured running back Caleb Peck. So that'll be an interesting part of tonight's game as well as we continue to work our way down to the kickoff of tonight's game. We will take a timeout. When we come back, we will spend a couple of minutes with the head coach of the Preston Indians, Eric Thorson. We'll do that as we continue our way, counting down to kickoff. You're listening to Preston Indian football on 105.5 FM and AM 1340 and on mylocalradio.com.
Are you looking for a better interest rate on your bank accounts or checking account? Then Lewiston State Bank has the answer for you. This is Robert Stevenson, and I'm here to tell you about our MyRate checking account. It is a free checking account that can earn a high interest rate on the first $25,000. This rate is even higher than most savings accounts. So stop by and visit me at our Logan branch on 3rd South in Maine, or go to our website at ls-bank.com and ask us how you can qualify for this high interest rate on your checking account. Lewiston State Bank, a division of People's Intermountain Bank, member FDIC.
Since 1958, when the farmers of Franklin County rolled equipment into the fields for harvest, most of them were rolling on Ron Keller tires, because Keller Tire has the right tires for tractors, combines, swathers, bale wagons, and the trucks that haul hay and grain to market or storage facilities. To keep that equipment rolling during the busy harvest season, Ron Keller Tire also has a fleet of service trucks that make repairs in-field to minimize downtime. Best wishes for a safe and productive harvest from Ron Keller Tires in Preston and North Logan. As one of the region's most visited websites, mylocalradio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Stream your favorite music all day, every day, or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit mylocalradio.com today to stream it all live.
Home sweet home. That's where you go for a home-cooked meal, a good night's sleep, and, well, people who just like you for who you are. So if you call Cache Valley home, we hope you'll call West Motor home. Home to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and of course home to Ram trucks. West Motor Company is home to so many car buyers in this area. It's because they treat you right and give you the best deal they can possibly finagle. Simply put, it feels right at West Motor. WestMotorCompany.com. Welcome home.
Spend a couple of minutes with head coach Eric Thorson here before this game against the Bobcats. I'm guessing it had to feel good this morning and see some blue skies and get rid of all the rain we've had the last couple of days.
Oh yeah, yeah. The rain was great, but it sure does change a game plan, and to be able to play on this good field in a nice cool night, this is what football's about.
Nice artificial turf field. I was out there walking around a little bit ago, and it feels like the footing ought to be just about perfect.
Yeah, athletes will be athletic tonight.
Did the rain really affect your preparation for the game?
Well, we had to do run through inside, so it did. Obviously, I won't lie, it made some adjustments, but preparation's something happens in the kid's mind. So, I'd say on that regard, no.
Let's talk a little bit about last week's game against Minico. You lose 21-7. However, they say really in sports there's no such thing as a moral victory, but holding one of the top teams in the state to well less than that 40-point threshold they scored in every game looks like a moral victory.
Well, yeah, and honestly, it's been a hard week for me. I've been complimented. The team's been complimented. The players played hard against Minico, but it's been hard. I don't want them to be satisfied at that level, and we need to. I don't know if that's going to be something taught, something that will come about, but we want to win, and I feel like with the right faith, they prepared to win last week, but we need the right faith to go in. I think we have that faith tonight, so we need to bring the execution tonight as well.
Without giving away any locker room secrets, what'd you tell the kids this week, and to not look back too much on last week's game and press forward into this game?
Well, first thing is, we don't. Well, you preach all the time, don't look at the scoreboard. So they do feel good. But we tell them, you can take that feeling and be arrogant, be lazy, think you're all that, or you can take that feeling and prepare. And, I believe a lot of the players are hungry for that win, and that's just it. Keep preparing to do the right thing, expect good things to happen. So I expect them to come out hungry tonight.
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back a little bit more with Coach Thorson right after this on 105.5 FM and AM 1340 and My Local Radio.
When you work as an auxiliary member at the Franklin County Medical Center, your service is felt by all of Franklin County. Register to become an auxiliary worker at noon on October 8th at the Franklin County Firehouse. Auxiliary members receive free flu shots, appreciation gifts and dinners, a Christmas party, a discount in the Simply Gifts shop, plus you'll make new friends and develop new leadership skills. Come and learn all the great ways you can serve as an auxiliary member. The auxiliary recruitment meeting will be held October 8th at noon at the Franklin County Firehouse.
Behind every project is a True Value. At Stokes Market and True Value in Preston, whether you need hardware, dog food, tools, batteries, plumbing supplies, paint, or cleaning products, you'll find them all. Plus a whole lot more at Stokes Market and True Value. With a large inventory, you'll find all the big name brands you trust and low prices every time you visit. So whether you're just starting or you're in the middle of a project, stop in today and visit our friendly, knowledgeable staff. Stokes Market and True Value, 217 South State Street, Preston.
Welcome back to the Indian pregame show. It's a little bit more with Coach Thorson as we count down to kickoff on tonight's game. I wanted to ask about a couple of your players. First of all, your quarterback, Ty Hyde, had probably one of his best games of the year last week.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't say enough good about Ty Hyde. He's definitely a young quarterback. He's only been in that position this season, but he's the leader of the offense. You see it in the way the kids respond, and as he gets better, we're all the more excited as he learns and grows into that position.
Talk to me a little bit about your running back, Caleb Peck.
Caleb loves football, not just as a player, as a student. He wants to know how everything's working, and from that, it makes him a better player. He's very dynamic, very explosive, a compact body and shifty. So, we try and get him the ball as much as possible. Great downhill runner. I couldn't ask more out of a football player. It's a pleasure to be his coach.
We'll get you out of here on this one. What do you have to do differently tonight to come away with a win?
Well, the expectation has got to change, and obviously we say we want to play our best, but, looking back at some of our problems over the season, toughness in the red zone is one of them. Execution, we have so many plays where just one player is doing the wrong thing and it bites us all. So expectation to succeed has got to be there, and that focus has just got to go up one more level. If we can do that, we really feel like we can be competitive.
Good luck tonight, Coach, and we'll talk to you later.
I appreciate it. Thanks for covering us tonight.
No, thank you. We'll take a time out. Back with more after this on 105.5 FM and AM 1340 and mylocalradio.com.
When you see that big green dinosaur, whether at your favorite gas station or convenience store on the side of a delivery truck, you know quality Sinclair products are available there from Hall Oil Company. Hall Oil is a family-owned and operated business that's been serving folks in Cache Valley since 1947. They're your local fuel and oil broker with a low-price guarantee. Another guarantee that's been really important this winter is that when you fill your fuel tanks with premium winter diesel fuel from Hall Oil, it's guaranteed not to gel even when the temperature drops below zero. It's the no-gel guarantee from Hall Oil Company.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
So I'm a typical banking customer.
And I'm a nearby ATM.
And I'm taking $20 out of my account.
And I'll process that $20 and take back $4.
Why do machines designed to give us money end up taking it right back? Introducing Kasasa, the free account that pays refunds on ATM fees and a lot more. To find a free Kasasa checking account near you, search Kasasa.
Ask for free Kasasa checking at Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA.
This is the Preston Indian pregame show as we come to you live from the Skaggs Event Center on the campus of Burley High School. Time to talk a little bit about the keys to tonight's game. Val, looking at some of the stuff that I could find online and the stats for the Preston Indians, I think, first of all, one of the big keys for them has to be pick up where they left off last week defensively.
Yes, that is definitely a key. That will do nothing but lift their level of play all throughout this game.
Yeah, and a big thing like Coach Thorson talked about, don't let a letdown happen after the end of last week's game, looking into this game, because you're coming into another game against a team with the same record that you have at 2-4. Mm-hmm. Even though Preston has lost 3 in a row, Burley has lost 4 straight, and they're just as hungry for a win as Preston is. Especially this being their last home game of the season. Yeah, exactly. So it's a big key is to not let down after what was a disappointing loss last week, but still a very good effort. Some of the other games, as we look at the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard, some of the other games going on of local interest tonight, Westside, with their perfect 6-0 record, they have the week off. Grace is playing at Butte County. Both teams are 2-2. Soda Springs is 2-3. They're at American Falls tonight, and American Falls is 1-4. North Gem is at McKay. Bear Lake at Malad, and Pocatello will play at Minico this evening as well. As far as games down in northern Utah, Logan is at Mountain Crest. Green Canyon will be at Skyview. Richfield at Summit Academy, and Springville will play at Sky Ridge tonight. Well, looks like they're getting ready for the national anthem. So let's take a break here, and we'll come back and get ready for the kickoff of tonight's game coming up just around the corner. This is Preston Indian football on 105.5 FM and AM 1340 and mylocalradio.com. When it comes to all things electrical, Sean Carter and the guys at S&T Electrical should always be your go-to crew. With experience in everything from new construction to repairs, service, and new installations, S&T Electrical is professional and friendly in all they do. Your electrical work will be done right. Call S&T Electric today at 208-852-5878.
This is Sean Carter with S&T Electric. It's what we do.
Earning interest on your money? If so, Lewiston State Bank has the account for you. This is Shelley Austin, and I'm here to tell you about our MyRate checking account. It is a free checking account that can earn a high rate of interest on the first $25,000. The rate is even higher than that of most savings accounts. So stop by and visit me at our Tree Mountain branch, or go to our website at ls-bank.com and ask us how you can qualify for this high interest rate on your checking account. Lewiston State Bank, a division of People's Intermountain Bank, member FDIC.
In addition to local information and the best live coverage of local sports, you can stream music 24/7 at mylocalradio.com. Log on and choose the music you like best. Classic or modern country, indie, adult contemporary, or classic rock. Stream it live through your computer or cell phone. Listen to the music you want and don't miss the information you need. Like us on Facebook and visit mylocalradio.com today. As the seasons change, it's a good time to take a close look at your car and truck tires. Check the tread and look for signs of uneven wear. If you have a question, stop by Ron Keller Tire and have one of the tire experts take a look. If you need new tires to get you safely through, they'll help you select the right tires for your vehicle and driving style. With a huge inventory from several manufacturers, Ron Keller Tire can care for your tire needs at a price that's right. You can trust all your tire needs to Ron Keller Tire in Preston and North Logan.
Health West is a nationally recognized community health center that provides patient-centered health care for everyone. From newborn to complicated care, Health West is always accepting new patients in Medicaid, Medicare, insured, and even if you don't have insurance. Available in 8 locations throughout Southeast Idaho. Call 208-852-3200 for an appointment in Preston. Health West, empowering our patients and communities by providing quality, affordable health care.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution.
Well, we're getting ready for the kickoff of tonight's game. In fact, the officials just now calling the captains out to the middle of the field for the coin toss of tonight's game. Captains tonight for Preston will be number 21, Walter Iverson. Number 62 is Riley Parker. Also 56, Wes Talbot. And number 30, Andrew Iverson, the junior running back, who's really dangerous on both sides of the ball and returning kicks as well as they get together out there at midfield. We'll remind you that for Preston, this is the final 2 road games of the year. They return back home next Friday night as they will be hosting Pocatello next week. As we're also welcome everybody joining us on mylocalradio.com tonight with the Utah State Aggies taking on BYU tonight. We'll try to keep a close tabs as we can on that game and kind of keep you informed on what's happening there. West Side has the night off tonight, that perfect 6-0 record, so they get to sit back and enjoy a week off tonight, and they'll get back at it next week, and we'll have the West Side game for you next week as well here on mylocalradio.com. So the officials still talking to the captains out at center at the center of the field. The great thing is, we mentioned the weather in our chat with Coach Talbot, was when we got here, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. A few clouds have moved in, but it's dry, and the artificial turf field here is almost in perfect condition.
And it doesn't look like it's going to storm or anything during this game.
No, not at all. Preston looks like they have I take it back. Burley has won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so Preston's going to get the ball first here tonight. And that's probably exactly what Coach Thorson wanted. After what happened last week, get your offense out there on the field and get after things right away offensively and see if you can put up points early tonight here against the Bobcats squad, who have lost 4 straight. Key for the Bobcats, we'll try to keep them off the scoreboard. Of the 4 straight losses that Burley has had, in 3 of the 4 losses, they've allowed 40 or more points. So 40 seems to be that magic number when you look at the things of tonight's game. Try to keep the Indians under 40 points, and certainly the Indian offense would like to put up that many points and also try to hand Burley their 5th loss in a row. So the kick return team coming out on the field for the Indians, as going back deep, Scott Dunn, the junior, and along with junior Andrew Iverson. Iverson is the guy you don't want to handle a kickoff return. He averages right at 26 yards a return. So they'd probably, if they have their druthers, try to kick it away from him. As here in the first quarter, Preston will be going from left to right. And teeing the ball up at the 40-yard line and getting ready to kick this ball into play tonight is Luis Gomez. There's the whistle from the officials. And we are underway here from Burley. High booming kick. It's going to drive Iverson back just over the goal line. So it's going to be a touchback and come out to the 20, where that is where the Indians will put it into play. The first quarter of tonight's game is brought to you by Preston Auto Parts Car Quest. Great people, great products, and great prices as well.
You know, I was watching in the pregame warm-ups, their kicker, he was pretty consistently kicking it almost just shy of the 10-yard line. That one, he must have some adrenaline going, because
that's
that
right.
Boomed another 10 yards further than his warm-ups.
So here's the Preston offense. Caleb Peck, the lone running back. They'll send 4 wides. They'll go trips left here on their first play from scrimmage here tonight. Out of the shotgun. Hyde waiting, almost like he's changing the play. There's a little pitch. It's going to come to Peck. He's going to try to come right, but he's stacked up in the backfield, and they're going to lose about 4 yards. So the Burley defense quickly on that little pitch play and able to stack him up, and he loses 4 yards on his first attempt. They'll go no huddle as they look back over to the sideline here. As they again will go 4 wides, twins to each side, and again lone running back is Peck as he stands at Hyde's right shoulder. Man in motion coming back here to the near side. Again, they'll give it to Peck up the middle. Nice hole across the 25, falls forward to about the 27.
Nice hole opened up, a little bit of diversion play with the man in motion. They were anticipating another end around, and instead it hit the middle of the line and broke open.
It's a gain of 10 on the play, and quick count. Hyde just goes forward to pick up the first down as he puts his head down and gets up to the 34 as he picks up 5 yards on the play. And the first down of the night for Preston. That'll move the chains, and it's 1st and 10. Again, the hurry-up offense. 2 wides this time. Pitch goes to Iverson. He goes left. And again, good play by the defense. Stacks Iverson up. He might get back to the line of scrimmage. Have to see where they mark the ball, but it's going to bring up 2nd down and about 10. He gains maybe a yard, we'll give him.
Well, they tried the near side. That time they tried the far side. Neither one of them are very forgiving.
So they come back out. This time they're going to go 4 wides again with trips right. Single running back at Hyde's right shoulder. That's Iverson. He's going to roll right, looking, throws right, but it's out in front, just a little bit too far out in front of Garrett Ward. It's going to go incomplete on his first pass attempt of the night. Stops the clock, 10:14 to play here in the first. The initial possession here by the Indians. As again, everybody looks over to the sideline, to the offensive coordinator. They all wear those little wristbands with all the plays on them, so they know exactly what the signals are when they come in. Trips left this time. with Peck, the lone running back. He wants to throw again. Hyde throws a little bit too tall. Contact just before the ball got there, but no flags. They tried to get it to Dunn, but it was too tall and incomplete.
I think there was no flag because they considered that a non-catchable ball.
So it's going to bring up check that fourth down, 4th and long in a punt situation here. As coming out to punt is Isaiah Smith. The average is about 26 yards a punt. As back deep here for Burley is Cody Kreckenberg. He watches it bounce. Boy, what a roll they get. Down inside the 10, and they'll down it at about the 7. So a big punt.
Big punt, and 25 yards after it hit the ground, and just kept rolling and rolling for the Indians.
That's the advantage about this artificial surface, this next turf surface. It's hard. It's soft if you land on it, but if you're going to make impact with it, it's going to be hard. Almost like the original AstroTurf that was laid on top of asphalt when it was originally installed years ago in some of the stadiums.
Ouch.
So 1st and 10, first possession tonight for Burley. Little toss, that'll go right. Big hole, up to across the 15 to almost the 20. As picking up the good yardage is 34, Riley Stevens.
They gave him a first down. They're moving the chains.
So it's a gain of 13 on the play for Stevens and a first down on their first play from scrimmage. They run a real tight offensive set, couple of wings, and a little toss is going to go right again. They like what they saw over there on the right side, as this time the ball carrier was Parker Jones, I believe, 83.
Andrew Iverson met him right at the line of scrimmage and brought him down after he had just gained a couple of yards, but great open field tackle by Iverson.
It's good for a couple of yards. 2nd down and 8. So they don't really split anybody out. They have wings that line up on the corners. This is a toss as this again goes to Stevenson, and the Preston defense is right there this time. Big man in the middle is the quarterback, Ty Hyde, sticks his nose in there and brings the ball carrier down.
I've noticed that on both of those plays, the ball went directly from the center to the wingman. Those two plays that we just watched. One from one side, the other from the other side of the line.
They lose yardage, so it's 3rd down and about 13. As this is going to go up the middle, and again, they run right into the middle of the Preston defense, and they stack him up, and they make the tackle at about the 20. So a short gain as Braden Bowen, number 5, picks up a couple of yards, but it's 4th down and 8 in a punting situation.
Isaiah Smith on the tackle on that last play. Over his head.
Bad snap goes over the punter's head. It's in the end zone. He tries to just kick it out of bounds, which is illegal. That should be a safety because that's an illegal act which occurred in the end zone. He kicked it out of bounds over on the far side, and it is indeed a safety. So trying to kick the ball out of bounds to keep Preston from scoring a touchdown, which he did, but in doing so, Cody Condi, the senior, a heads-up play costs his team 2 points as the Preston defense gets the safety.
And they'll receive the ball after a kickoff here.
That's right, and they get the ball back. So the safety turns the ball over.
Two to nothing on the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard.
That's right.
Looking good. So not only a kickoff, it's going to be kicked from the 20. This is going to put the Indians in some excellent field position, or it should. We'll see how the play works out.
So dropping back deep again, Dunn and Iverson. And the free kick, he's actually going to tee it up. And it will be Luis Gomez, the place kicker, who will kick this ball back into play. They stand at about the 25-yard line, and the booming kick is going to go over their head, and this is going to roll all the way back, picked up at the 8. It's Iverson coming straight up the middle, gets one block. Ooh, gets a little bit of a low cut there and drops him. As coming up to make the tackle is someone we don't have a number for, number 22 for Preston, or for Burley, I should say.
He's not on the roster here.
Not on the roster here either. It must have been a late addition for tonight's game. But he's able to drop Iverson at the 27, and that's where they'll put the ball back into play. They lead 2-0. They'll again go to this spread formation again. 4 wide receivers, man in motion back to the far side is Smith. He sets now, so 2 running backs, and the inside handoff goes to Peck. Runs into one man, gets away from another, still on his feet, falls forward, gets up to about the 27. So back near the line of scrimmage, we'll give him a yard. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9. Good effort, though. Kept the feet driving.
Broke 2 tackles. You went one way off of one tackle, got hit again, twisted and turned and came back this way, and before he was brought down.
First quarter of tonight's game is brought to you by Preston Auto Parts Car Quest. Great people, great products, and great prices. Stop by and visit them in Preston. Inside handoff again. This comes to Smith. Big hole. Smith gets out to the 40, falls forward to the 41, and a 1st down.
Beautiful run, man in motion. Just kind of a crossing route and came off into the sidelines before they were able to bring him down.
13-yard gain, gets the ball just across the 40-yard line. They'll stop the clock to set the chains. 2 wide receivers here to the near side, 1 to the far side. That's the left side of the formation. A couple of running backs. They'll line up in a pro set with Hyde in the shotgun. Hyde gives it to Iverson, going around the left side, trying to get around the corner. He's hit as he gets to the 45, falls forward to about the 48.
7-yard gain.
So Iverson picks up 7 on the play. 2nd down, call it 3. As Preston in their second offensive possession has the ball moving pretty well on the first 2 offensive plays. Again, they'll go twins to each side. Little inside handoff on almost a reverse. It's Ward going left. Cross midfield. The 45 gets up near the 40. They're going to mark him down at the 42-yard line.
It's an 11-yard pickup. Nice run.
So a nice run by Ward on his first carry of the night. That'll pick up another 1st down. And right now, Preston has the Bobcat defense kind of on their heels. A lot of misdirection, a lot of motion. What it means for Hyde is he hasn't had to throw the ball, although last week he had his best week passing. He was 18 of 33 last week for 196 yards. But so far tonight, as the defensive line jumps, the guy right on the nose comes forward, makes contact. That'll be an offside call. And the first penalty of the night charged against either squad. That'll push the ball 5 yards and make it 1st down and 5. So they'll go with the same play again. Trips right, single receiver to the left. Iverson in the backfield. As Hyde's going to keep it. Gets across the 35 and takes 3, 4, 5 Bobcats to finally drag him down. He's going to pick up about 2 yards on the play for Hyde. And it's 2nd down. Call it 2nd and 3 after the 5-yard penalty as they spot the ball on the 34. Again, everyone looking back toward the sideline. I love the gyrations from the offensive coordinator trying to signal the play. They fake it to Peck, rolling left, now throwing toward the end zone. He's got a man, and it is caught. No, he stripped away at the last minute.
And we have a late flag.
And a flag comes in late. The intended receiver, I believe, was Gordon Knapp, number 80. And he had it down in the end zone. It was stripped away at the last second. Let's see what the penalty is. It came in from the sideline official on this side.
And it's going against the Indians. Don't know what the indication was. I just saw him.
I think he called it illegal participation, I believe was that signal that he gave. Fortunately, he gave it with his back to us. But either way, the way they're moving the ball, I would take the penalty if I was the head man for the Bobcats, Tony Cade, and push them back. It'd still be second down, but this is potentially going to make it second down and about 14 again. Let's see what they decide here. Yep, they're going to pick up the ball and they're going to start to walk it back. Oop, my bad. It's only a 5-yard penalty. So it was illegal man downfield. So Rob must have had a lineman that got past the line of scrimmage when the pass was thrown.
Well, it was a delayed pass. He was looking to pass, and it was broken up, and he turned and kind of looked like he was going to run the ball. Then he saw his man open downfield. So, yeah, one of his offensive linemen probably thought he was going to run and started the lead block.
So it's second down and 8 after the penalty. 4:29 to play here in the first on the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard. Trips right. Direct snap. Throw underneath. Nice move by Dunn to get away from one man. Picks up the first down, still on his feet. Gets up near the 20 and finally dragged down from behind as it was number 83, Parker Jones, who grabbed him by the shoelaces and drug him down.
Beautiful little crossing route. The ball was right where it should be at the exact same time the receiver was. He was able to juke around one of the defenders, and that opened up a big hole that he just found the room to move.
Quickly come back again. Iverson, nice move, sidesteps one man down toward the goal line. He's inside the 5 and stopped at about the 2. So a nice play. That'll be good enough for another first down. You become first and goal. So Iverson scrambles for 16. And now right on the edge of the goal line and just going forward is, to see who that is, it's a touchdown. Who gets off the bottom of the pile? It is Hyde to pick up the touchdown on the 2-yard run.
Well, all off of one of the keys of the game. We talked about the defense needed to step up. They did. They got the safety, got the kickoff, and here it turns into a touchdown.
Absolutely. So here is Dunn to kick the extra point. Dunn is 12 out of 13 this year on extra points, and you can add one to that as that extends the lead out now to 9-0. So the Indians lead 9-0 on the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard. We'll take a timeout. Back after this on 105.5 FM and AM 1340 and mylocalradio.com. When it comes to all things electrical, Sean Carter and the guys at S&T Electrical should always be your go-to crew. With experience in everything from new construction to repairs, service, and new installations, S&T Electrical is professional and friendly in all they do. Your electrical work will be done right. Call S&T Electric today at 208-852-5878.
This is Sean Carter with S&T Electric. It's what we do.
Do you like earning interest on your money? If so, Lewiston State Bank has the account for you. This is Shelley Austin, and I'm here to tell you about our MyRate checking account. It is a free checking account that can earn a high rate of interest on the first $25,000. The rate is even higher than that of most savings accounts. So stop by and visit me at our Tree Mountain branch, or go to our website at ls-bank.com and ask us how you can qualify for this high interest rate on your checking account. Lewiston State Bank, a division of People's Intermountain Bank, member FDIC.
Iverson to kick it off. Short little kick played on a bounce. That's taken by Carson Rice. Rice gets up to the 35. Short kickoff. He fielded about the 30, so it was a 5-yard return. And the Burley offense will come back out of the field and put it back into play there. So 9-0. Preston leads on the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard with 3:41 to play here in the first quarter. Offense breaks the huddle. Again, they'll come up and they'll be in that little tight bunch, and they'll put a wingman on each end. They don't even line up. They line up perpendicular to the line of scrimmage as they hand it off going around the right side. Nice hole, gets around the corner, still on his feet, finally run out of bounds. Damian Castillo, the sophomore, got around the corner and picked up a big gain.
Number 62, I thought it was 82. It is Judd Pendleton that ran him out of bounds.
So they're actually going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 48 of Preston. It becomes a 17-yard run instead of something bigger than that. He wants to throw, rolling, looking as Rice throws down the middle and is picked off. Hyde's got it and is immediately thrown down at the 23-yard line. Bad pass, well over his receiver's head, but Ty Hyde able to pick it off because he's 6'6" and able to go up and get it.
Was it Ty Hyde or was it number 9, Ben Durfee? It might have been Ben Durfee. I'm sorry.
Okay, I will take the correction. Ben Durfee, who made the interception. It looked like he was so much taller than everybody else that he was able to go up and take the ball away.
I could be mistaken too. Anyway, it was a great play.
Either way,
another defense.
It's a turnover, and Preston has the ball back already, leading 9-0. 4 receivers, trips left. Hyde wants to throw, looks left, comes back right. He's got a man out there, and it's caught at the 28-yard line. Nope, nothing going to say it was incomplete. As Dunn made the catch, he was sliding, and the official in the center of the field, the back judge, said the ball went through his hands and hit the ground, which makes it an incomplete pass. That's a tough play because he was open and he was behind his man.
What a powerful arm Hyde has. That was a 55 yards in the air pass and pretty much on target.
2nd down and 10. Twin receivers to either side. Peck, the lone running back, stands on the right shoulder of Hyde. Man in motion coming back this way. Little cross buck. They give it inside to Peck. Gets up to the 30-yard line before he's brought down. That'll be a gain of 7 for Caleb Peck. So 4 carries, 14 yards tonight for Peck. Peck last week carried the ball 14 times for 50 yards. Second down and 5. Again, they'll go back. Trips right, tight end left is right as well, and the pass underneath comes to. It's Durfee. Durfee's got a big hole down the sideline, and he finally is drung out of bounds to the 30-yard line. That's a 40-yard gain and a first down.
Beautiful run, the catch out on the flat. Just didn't. He was not a defender within 6 yards of him. He was able to turn upfield and run down the sideline. 40 yards later, first down.
So a big gain up to the 30. Clock stops with 2:48 to play here in the first to set the chains. Now the chain gang finally gets caught up, but Preston standing and waiting at the line of scrimmage. Inside handoff to Iverson, breaks a couple of tackles. Stillick on his feet across the 25 up to the 23.
Beautiful run, 4 tackles. 4 of the Bobcats should have been able to wrap him up, but it took 5 of them. The 5th one finally got him down.
So second down and short again, and we got a timeout called by Burley. So they'll take a timeout, their first. 2:27 left here in the quarter, as this first quarter brought to you by Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. As we look at the Ron Keller's Tire scoreboard, Preston leading 9-0. We're back after this break on 105.5 FM and AM 1340 and mylocalradio.com.
In addition to local information and the best live coverage of local sports, you can stream music 24/7 at mylocalradio.com. Log on and choose the music you like best. Classic or modern country, indie, adult contemporary, or classic rock. Stream it live through your computer or cell phone. Listen to the music you want and don't miss the information you need. Like us on Facebook and visit mylocalradio.com today.
Welcome back to Preston Indians football. First quarter of tonight's game brought to you by Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Great people, great products, and great prices. Second down and short. They go to the corner of the end zone, jumping to get it, and it's intercepted in the end zone, and it is indeed a touchback. As Dunn went up to get it, and it was taken away, and the interception by Dazon Castillo, the junior, went up and took it away from Dunn for the interception. That's the bad news. If there's any bright silver lining, is the fact that they mark him down at the 1. So it's 1st and 10 from their own 1-yard line.
Deep in their own.
They've already given up one safety tonight. Let's see what the Preston defense can do here. Man in motion, going from left to right. Fake the handoff. Rolling is Gibbons, trying to get at least a little bit of room to work with. He's finally chased out of bounds at about the 5.
Indians able to string that play out. He went a long ways sideways for a little bit of a gain.
Good job by the defense to really string things out, Val, like you mentioned. And by the time he got around the corner, he was running for his life and headed for the end zone. Short gain, gets up to about the 5-yard line. So second down and 5. Again, Gibbons under center. Quick hitter. Gets a short gain. Get up short of the 10-yard line. As getting off the bottom of the pile is Brandon Bowen again. Bowen with a short gain. Third down and a couple. So we'll call it a 3-yard gain for Bowen. See what they have in mind. Now finally they go more to a more pro set. Under center, Gibbons, inside handoff. That's not going to get it done. They're short of the 10-yard line. People are motioning first down.
But they have to get to the 11, don't they?
Yeah, they marked the ball out on the 10. That's going to be short of the first down. So it's...
No, they're moving.
Wow.
Wow, that was a nice spot.
That's a generous spot, especially since the side judge on this side is standing right on the 10-yard line. And they give them the first down anyway. They're about to the length of the football over the 10-yard line, so certainly not where the side judge was standing. So a first down for Burley, 1st and 10 from the 10. Looking to throw. Looking, still looking. Now he's got to scramble again. Gibbons going right. Gets down the sidelines, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 17.
Excellent coverage downfield by the Indian secondary. They made it impossible for him to find anybody to get that ball off to. Forced that short gain.
So the scramble good for about 7 yards, and it'll bring up second down, and we'll call it a long 3. Glad to have you along with us here tonight from Burley High School. Dan Hubbard along with Val Cook tonight, with the Indians leading 9-0 inside a minute to play here in the first. It's a throw that's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Riley Peterson. And the first throw tonight by Gibbons, incomplete. That stops the clock with 41 seconds to play here in the quarter. So for Preston, trying to break a 3-game losing streak, and Burley trying to break a 4. Preston, however, with 2 games left after tonight, both of those at home. So we'll be back in Preston next week. Inside handoff, good enough for a first down. As reaching out and grabbing the man by the ankles.
Now they're bringing up 4th down.
Okay, my bad. So Bowen only got a yard.
Yeah. I was shocked too. It's kind of hard to see the hash marks. They're on the far side of the field. And so to judge where they run before they actually set down the ball is kind of a chore.
So 4th and 2. And they'll try to punt it away again. This time a better snap. End over end, kind of a duck. It hits at the 42 and bounces out of bounds at the 41 of Burley, and Preston's going to start in plus territory here for their next possession. Then that possession will come up as we start the second quarter. As that play runs out the clock, we're done with the first quarter. Brought to you by Preston Auto Parts and CarQuest as we check the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard after the first quarter. Preston's up 9-0. Back with more after this on 105.5 FM and AM 1340, along with mylocalradio.com.
As the seasons change, it's a good time to take a close look at your car and truck tires. Check the tread and look for signs of uneven wear. If you have a question, stop by Ron Keller Tire and have one of the tire experts take a look. If you need new tires to get you safely through, they'll help you select the right tires for your vehicle and driving style. With a huge inventory from several manufacturers, Ron Keller Tire can care for your tire needs at a price that's right. You can trust all your tire needs to Ron Keller Tire in Preston and North Logan.
Welcome back in. We're done with one here at Skaggs Event Center on the campus of Burley High School. The Preston Indians leading 9-0 as we get ready for the second quarter of play. And they'll now turn around and go the other way. So Preston will now go from right to left. I'll say across your radio dial, even though we're on the internet only tonight.
Yes.
And already leading 9-0. As they come back out, waiting for the officials to spot the ball. They put it down at the 41, 1st and 10 there for the Indians. They'll line up 4 wide receivers as they normally do, 2 to each side. Lone running back is Peck. Little cross inside. The handoff goes to Garrett Ward. Ward's tripped up, stumbles forward to about the 40, so give him 1 yard, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
See the man on the sideline in the orange that is making all those hand gestures? That's the offensive coordinator. I'll try and get him in on some more shots for you guys because it's really fun to watch him call the plays in before every down.
He gets some interesting hip gyrations going. We'll leave it at that. So 2 running backs this time, 1 on each side, each shoulder of Hyde. And they're going to take too much time. That's going to push them back 5 yards. Had a little trouble getting the play in. And then Hyde was trying to move people around to make sure the offensive set was correct, and the clock ran out on him. See him down there, arms up like Hercules, and then smashes his hand into his fist into his bare hand. So this has got to be. You think this would be some kind of strong power play? Hyde has to scramble, wants to throw, has a man, it's complete down inside the 30 to the 26, 27 yard line when he's finally run out of bounds.
Yeah, make a completion like that, it'll make you feel like Hercules too. So that's right. That's probably whatever you do, feel like Hercules at the end of this play.
Pass completed to Ward. And it's a gain of 13 on the play. Want to run this time as they'll fake the ball up the middle. Getting up near the 25-yard line before driving back is Iverson. Iverson with a short gain. Give him a couple on that gain. 2nd down and 8 coming up. Again, they'll look back over here and try to pick up the coach and get the play coming in from the sideline.
And I'm impressed every one of the players know what the coach is saying with those hand signals.
Oh, yeah. They get drilled on that like crazy as the ball is on a bounce and incomplete of the intended receiver, Ben Durfee.
A lot of times you see teams go into a huddle, then one person gets the play from the offensive coordinator, and then they have to tell the other players what it is, and they break out. No, every player on the Indians knows exactly what that offensive coordinator is telling them for every play.
So 3rd down and 8. Just outside the red zone. Little swing pass comes here to the left side. That's to Iverson. Puts his head down, gets up near the 1st down. Run out of bounds at about the 20, so he's going to be a little short.
He was close enough that the man holding the down marker indicator dropped it and backed away.
So just outside the 20-yard line, it's 4th down, and looks like they're going to go for it. It's 4th and 4 here, and see if they can pick it up. Lone setback is Peck. Hyde will keep it himself, and he runs right into the heart of the defense. They saw that coming, and they were not fooled at all on the fake handoff to Caleb Peck, and Hyde ran right into about half a dozen green jerseys.
Took that fake a little too long to develop, and the defense had already started moving in the direction Hyde was running. They were already there when the fake handoff happened and were able to just bring him down.
So that will turn the ball over on downs, and the Burley offense comes back out on the field, and believe it or not, this is just about their best starting position in the first half.
Yes, and it's on the their own 21-yard line.
Exactly. Twice they started inside the 5. Handoff. That goes to, again, a player we don't have a name for. He's going all the way out across midfield and finally chased out of bounds. Across midfield into Preston territory up to the 47-yard line.
Player wearing number 84, but like Dan said, there's not an 84 on our rosters.
Nope, not on my roster, not on the roster that I was sent by the Burley coaches either. So a big run and a 1st down. They set it right down on the midfield stripe.
We'll give homage to the number 84 with a great run.
Indeed, 30-yard run as a matter of fact. So 1st and 10 from right at midfield. Gibbons rolls out, rolling left. The left-hander looking to throw before he gets out of bounds. And it's going to go incomplete. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. So Gibbons, Ethan Gibbons, the 5'10" junior, he is left-handed. So when he rolls left, he's still rolling to the side in which he has able to throw. Yeah, exactly.
Has the power.
It's
off. Just the defensive backfield closing him off. He's not finding his receivers.
That's right. Good pursuit. Good stretching out of the play. Lone running back. Man in motion back here to the near side. High snap. Gibbons has to go up and get it. Now he's going to run around the left side. Gets across the 45 up to about the 43. That'll be a gain of 7 or 8 on the play, but it's going to be short of the 1st down. And hold on, we got a penalty marker over on the far side? Yes, we do.
Yeah.
At the 45, let's see what this is going to be. Holding, it looks like, offense. So that will be a 10-yard penalty against Burley. That should push him back a little bit. Should be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. They dropped the flag at the Preston 45. So it should push him back 10 yards from there. Everybody on the I don't know what the discussion is. Everybody on the Preston sidelines is going, take the penalty, push him back. So they'll walk it off. It should march him back to their own 45, make it the 46 where they set the ball down. 2nd penalty tonight against Burley for a total of 15 yards.
Remains 2nd down.
It does remain 2nd down, so it's 2nd and call it 14. Man in motion back here to the near side. Fake it to him. They give it to Bowen on the cross buck inside. He gets just across the line of scrimmage, gets maybe a yard before he is ganged up on inside. Iverson was there. Also there involved in the tackle was Walter Iverson, the senior. Must be his older brother. So the Iversons team up
for the tackle.
Team up for the tackle. Call it no gain. Remains 3rd down and 14. Passing situation for Gibbons. Rolling. They got him back in the backfield, and he is going down. The sack all the way back to the 38. is a 6-yard loss.
Javin Chatterton was on the bottom of that pile defensively. I think it was 54.
Well, it's going to push him. Yeah, indeed. It's going to push him back to the 38, so it's 4th down and long. Now 4th down and about 22, as a matter of fact. So the punting situation once again. Cody Condi, the punter. When he's not busy being an offensive lineman, not often you see a punter wearing number 50. Nice kick, though, as this is going to go down the far sideline. And penalty flag comes in. That's going to be an illegal block in the back as they're running down to cover the punt. Zach Davis gave one of the defenders for Berkeley a 2-hand shove right in the middle of the back and pushed him right out of bounds.
And apparently it was in the vision range of 3 or 4 of the referees because I think every one of them threw a flag.
Yeah, well, the back judge, I think, may have set a record for a flag toss because his came in from about 25 yards away. So the penalty is going to push him back farther. The punt went out of bounds at the 26. And this is going to push them back to almost the 15-yard line. In fact, it'll push them back inside the 15-yard line, back to the 13 where they finally set the ball down.
It'll push the Bobcats forward to a 1st down inside the 15.
No, it'll still be Preston's ball.
Oh, okay.
The penalty was post-possession after the kick.
Okay.
It just pushes them back farther from where the ball originally went out of bounds. Inside handoff goes to Peck. Finds a hole. Then he's knocked down from behind. Gets up to about the 19. So Caleb Peck picks up 5 on the play. About 8.5 to play here in the first half. That's 5 carries for Peck for 19 yards here in the first half. Hyde. Little reverse action. That comes to Ward. Cuts it up inside. Nice play. Gets across the 25 ahead to the 27. Good for a 1st down.
Nice opening in that line.
So Ward with a 10-yard gain picks up the 1st down. And 1st and 10 as they set the ball at the 27. A little bit longer count this time. Iverson going off the right side. Big hole. Stumbles, breaks a tackle, and finally knocked down from behind. It was the kicker, Condi, to come back and hit Iverson from behind, but that's good enough for another 1st down.
Little end around. Juke step. Misses one, or makes one tackle miss. And picks up his 1st down.
13-yard gain for Iverson. That's 7 carries for 48 yards here in the first half, unofficially. So 1st and 10 from the 40. They'll give it to Iverson again. Another big hole across the 45. Steps out of one tackle, gets across the 50. Gets a block down the sidelines. 30, finally dragged out of bounds at the 27-yard line. And no flags on the play, so it'll move the chains. 18-yard run.
That time he was able to get around the end and find a lane right down the sideline. Picked up a huge chunk of that 18 yards in that last little burst down the sideline.
Yeah, once he got outside that last linebacker who missed the tackle about the 50, he rambled for another big gain. This time they go to Peck inside as they keep the ball on the ground. Peck breaks a couple of tackles down inside the 10, down at the 8. "13-yard run for Caleb Peck. Another 1st down, makes it 1st and goal as they're inside the red zone for the first time officially tonight. They'll go 4 wides, 2 to each side. Peck, the lone running back. Hyde steps up, changes the play. And they're going to go right as Hyde steps in, tries to go inside, gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage, then a flag comes in from the back judge. That's generally the guy looking for a holding call.
And that was right in the area where a hold would have taken place because Hyde was coming back to try and go through one of the holes that was in the line, and the guard on this near side would have been in a position if man was trying to get past him to hold.
Yep. As the Preston offense is walking backwards, and so is the official with the ball. He'll set it down at the 19. So the holding penalty pushes the ball back 10 yards. That's 3 penalties tonight against Preston for a total of 30 yards. And they'll wind the clock. 6:44 to play here as we look at the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard. Inside handoff goes to Ward. He's hit almost as soon as he got the ball, and he's going to be brought down. That will push the ball back a few more yards. They'll set it at the 22 as Ward will lose 2. And it's 2nd and goal from the 22. So again, they'll line up 4 wides. Single running back is Andrew Iverson as he stands on the left shoulder of Peck. Peck wants to, Hyde wants to throw, and it's in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. I believe it was Scott Dunn. I thought it was Emmett Bradford, the senior, but he has a target all year. And a timeout here on the field with 6:06 to play here in the quarter. As we look at the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard, Preston with a 9-0 lead. Timeout on the field. We'll take it as well here on 105.5 FM, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com.
Health West is a nationally recognized community health center that provides patient-centered health care for everyone. From newborn to complicated care, Health West is always accepting new patients in Medicaid, Medicare, insured, and even if you don't have insurance. Available in 8 locations throughout Southeast Idaho. Call 208-852-3200 for an appointment in Preston. Health West, empowering our patients and communities by providing quality, affordable health care.
So it's 3rd and goal for Preston as we welcome you back here with 6:06 to play here in the first half. Indians leading 9-0. 3rd and goal from their own 22. They had the ball down to about the 9, and a couple of losses and a penalty pushed the ball back. And now rolling is Hyde, rolling right, throwing to the back of the end zone, and it is it caught or is he out of bounds? Nope, they're going to say he was out of bounds. He was juggling the ball as he stepped out. As Scott Dunn, the intended receiver. So it'll bring up 4th and goal from the 22.
It is nice to see Ty. It is nice to see Ty hitting his targets. In earlier games this season, he has overthrown a lot of his receivers. His arm is so powerful that receivers couldn't get downfield. But tonight, he is hitting him. He's not overthrowing him. He's hitting him right on.
First quarter in Provo just ended as well. Utah State leading the BYU Cougars 14-0 after the first quarter.
Who would have thought that?
So here we go. Scott Dunn's going to line up for a field goal. They'll mark it at the 28. It's a 38-yard field goal, and it is good right down the middle. So Dunn nails the 38-yard field goal, and that makes it now 12-0.
Wow.
So 12-0, the Indians on top after the 38-yard field goal by Scott Dunn.
14-0 for Utah State over BYU at the end of the first quarter.
Yes, sir.
I didn't expect that. I didn't expect it to be a blowout, but, that's amazing. Go Aggies.
So Dunn is now 2 for 2 on field goal attempts this year, both of them from 38 yards. That puts them up 12-0. Just under 6 minutes to play here in the first half.
Lined up for the kickoff. 1 man back for the Bobcats.
That's our mysterious 84. We'll call him Elvis.
Elvis is in the building.
That's right. Yes. I know what we're waiting for. We're looking for a football. Something to come in. Iverson standing there going, hey, guys, I'd like to kick at some point. Mm-hmm. Officials walking back over here to the near side. Not sure what the problem is. As now they're coming out and discussing whatever it is with Eric Thorson. If you didn't get a chance to hear Thorson's comments during the pregame show, I was very interested in what he had to say about the loss last week and how a lot of people were very complimentary because the Indians played so well last week against Minico, but still came up losing by 14 points. He was complimented for the effort, but he said effort only goes so far. You know, we should have been able to win that game, and we didn't get it done.
We can't settle for that.
And the kickoff and penalty flags. Looks like Preston was offside on the kickoff, and they'll bring it back. Illegal procedure is officially what the call is, and they'll move the ball back 5 yards, and they'll kick it again. So last year, of course, Utah State beat BYU in Logan.
Mm-hmm.
And this year?
Well, that's what's even more stunning. 14-0 at the end of the first quarter, and they're at BYU. They're in Provo.
Game's in Provo. But you know what? That BYU offense is notorious to slow starts in all of their games this year, even though they're 3-2 after the first 5. Iverson's line drive kickoff is going to be handled at the 15-yard line this time. Nice move. Breaks a tackle at the 25 across the 30. Puts his head down, gets up to the 35. That's Luis Gomez with a nice return.
Looks like Connor Schaefer in on the tackle for the Indians. You know, I've been saying Ben Durfee is number 9. I think Luke Schmelly is wearing number 9 tonight.
Is Schmelly wearing 9?
I think he is. He's listed at both 3 and 9, and Ben Durfee, who is a freshman, is listed as number 9 also.
Okay.
So I bet it's Schmelly.
I bet it is too.
My mistake.
That's okay. As long as you fess up to it. I'm kidding, of course. So 1st and 10 for the Cats. Bad snap. As going down to pick it up was Gibbons, and then tries to scramble forward for anything he could possibly get. Gets across the 35. Call it at the 35, which will actually end up being a loss on the play of a yard, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 11. 12-0 Indians here in the first half, trying to snap the 3-game losing streak. Direct snap to Gibbons, steps up, wants to throw, can't. Now he's going to roll right, gets around the corner, 40, 45, up to about the 47 before he's run out of bounds. As Andrew Iverson, from his defensive back position, the closest man to him to finally run him out of bounds, but it's good enough for a first down. So Gibbons scrambles for 11. Actually make it 14, I should say, on the play. Gets the first down. They set the ball down right at the 48-yard line, just inside Bobcat territory. Shotgun snap. Inside handoff to Bowen. That goes nowhere. Great pursuit by the Preston defense. He'll lose about 3 on the play.
Almost like that defense knew the count number. They were in the backfield as fast as the running back was.
Yeah, Bowen was hit almost the same time as he got the football. It's a good thing he actually hung on to it. Clock running, 4.5 to play here in the first quarter. Gibbons steps up, and they got him again. As coming in on the blitz, Caleb Peck able to bring him down. He was the first man to make contact with him and wouldn't let him get away. 2nd sack of the night for the Preston defense. That's their 9th sack of the year. So they'll push the ball back even further.
Again, the defense making the stand. Pointed it out at the start of the game that the defense had to had to make some things happen, and they are. They have been all half.
3rd down and 18. 3 receivers left. Gibbons rolling right, trying to get around the corner. 45, midfield, chased out of bounds, but still short of the first down. Picks up about 10 on the play, but it's going to bring up 4th down and about 8. So Gibbons with a nice scramble, but short of the first down. Gibbons now has carried the ball 4 times for 36 yards. And trailing by 12, of course, at the end of the first half, right at midfield, the Bobcats are going to go for it. So 4th down and 8. Wants to throw, looking, throws across the middle into a crowd. It's tipped, knocked down. Iverson got his hand on it. It's incomplete, and they'll turn the ball over on downs.
He was in the perfect position. He reached up and hit that ball out of the air. He probably could have intercepted it if he would have really tried. Maybe, I don't know, it would have been a one-handed catch.
You got a hand on it. That's the most important part.
Yeah.
As Gibbons had a couple of receivers in the area, but coming across the formation, Iverson able to get a hand on it, knocked it down. So they turn the ball over. Preston gets the ball back. They'll start about a length of the football into Bobcat territory. So call it basically the midfield stripe. 4 receivers, 2 to each side. Caleb Peck, the lone setback, as he stands on the right shoulder of Ty Hyde. Man in motion. They fake it to him. Wants to throw down the sidelines. He's got his man out there, and it's going to be just a little long. Gordon Knapp, the intended receiver, had beaten his man, but the ball was about 2 yards overthrown. You know, both times they've tried that, a little out and up by Knapp. Both times he's beaten the cornerback, but the ball was just out of his reach.
It's that powerful arm of Hyde.
That's right. So 2nd and 10. Again, they'll go 4 wides, twins to each side. Inside handoff to Peck. Big hole, gets across the 40, breaks it outside. 35, 33-yard line before he's finally run out of bounds. 17-yard run. And Riley Stevenson there to run him out of bounds.
That hole off of the left side of that offensive line, huge. When he hit that offensive line, that hole was big enough to drive a semi through.
That's 49 yards rushing on 7 carries here in the first half for Caleb Peck. Iverson back in at running back. He gets the handoff straight ahead, gets across the 30, still fighting forward up to about the 26. That'll be good for about 6 yards. Call it 2nd down and 4 on the way here as we approach the 3-minute mark remaining here in the first half on the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard. Preston offense wants to slow it down a little bit now and try to burn up this clock and not leave the Bobcats any time left to get the ball back. Iverson again on the ground, straight ahead. Tries to go off the right side, gets up near the 20. Let's see where they mark it. That could be far enough for a first down. Let's see. They're going to stop the clock, and indeed, the referee says it is a first down. That's first down number 8 of the first half tonight for Preston.
That offensive line is doing a very, very good job tonight for the Indians. Number 50 is Liam Ratchford, 56, Wes Talbot, 62, Judd Pendleton, Colby Dean, and Matthew Jensen, the offensive line.
Again, twins to each side. Fake the ball inside to Peck. Throw across the middle. It's off the shoulder pads and incomplete.
Ooh.
As trying to get a number. It looks like Isaiah Smith had the ball get through his hands, and up his Ward, number 10, had the ball get through his hands and off the chest plate of his shoulder pads and bounced away, then took a heck of a lick.
Yeah, a heck of a lick. If he would have caught, I think he saw the defender coming at him, because if he had caught that ball, whoa, that would have been a wicked hit.
2:10 to play in the half. Inside handoff to Peck. Breaks a tackle, gets forward, and gets up to about the 17-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. 3rd and 5 coming up. So they keep the ball on the ground. Clock runs. 1:40 to play in the first half. As they're back inside the red zone for the second time. And I remember the first time they're there was only for one play, and now we have a timeout. So a timeout called here with 1:34 to play. Let's go ahead and take a timeout here on the Ron Keller scoreboard. Preston leads here 12-0. Back after this break on 105.5 FM and AM 1340, along with mylocalradio.com.
If you're doing some cleanup work around the yard, the house, the garage, or the farm, remember, you can turn scrap metal into cash when you take that metal to Idaho Salvage and Metal in Preston. They pay top dollar for aluminum cans, aluminum window and door frames, brass and steel. They take junk cars and trucks, farm equipment, and industrial gear. So rather than taking that stuff to the landfill, park it on the scales at Idaho Salvage and Metal on West Oneida in Preston.
Coming back to you live from the Skaggs Event Center here on the campus of Burley High School. Preston leading 12-0. 1:34 to play here in the first half and threatening for more. It's 3rd down and 5 from the 16. So definitely 2-down territory if Coach Thorson chooses to go for it. Trips left. Snap out of the shotgun to Hyde, throws to the back corner of the end zone, and it's knocked away. Great defensive play to knock the ball away, as it was Gennaro Loomis, one of the seniors, able to get up and get a hand on it. So it's 4th down. Offense stays on the field. I told you it was 2-down territory. 2 receivers each side. Iverson the lone setback. They can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. And the entire defensive line jumps. That helps. That should put them right at the first down. It was a 4th down and 5. So let's see if it's going to give them a first down or not. Nope, it's going to be just short. So it becomes 4th and about a half a yard. So it was a long 5. Now, hold on. Now they want to measure as our referee wants to line it up. And looks like they're going to bring the chains in here just to make sure.
Coach Thorson runs over right behind the line marker. He lined it up, wants to know as soon as he can so he can make plans for the next play.
So they'll stretch the chain out after they get it set. And it looks like it's right at it. Oh, get out the playing card and tried to stick it down in between. He's down on all fours to line it up. And, yeah, 5 plus 5 equals first down, right? Nope, they're going to call it 4th down.
4th down and a playing card width. Merlin Olsen, the great Merlin Olsen, called this game a game of inches. That is a perfect example.
Well, you remember last year in the NFL playoffs, the referee got down, I forget who it was, but he got the card out of his pocket and wanted to see if he could get the nose of the football between that and the first down marker.
I missed that, I did. But that was one of those situations right there on the field in front of us.
So 4th and very short. Hyde just sticks he's driven backwards. I'm not sure he got it. As his forward progress was stalled, and then someone came in and gave him a pretty good shove backwards. And I tell you what, they pushed him back.
No, they moved the marker out about a foot and a half.
Well, but they spotted the ball at the 11. I'm not sure that's going to be enough. As they're going to bring the chains on again. Let's see. And this time, nope, they didn't. Where they spotted the ball, he ended up losing about 6 inches. So the middle linebacker, I didn't get a number, but the middle linebacker, once Peck was, Hyde rather, was stood up, came in and gave him a pretty good shot and drove him backwards. Of course, the idea is to get low and try to keep driving. But when you're 6'6", it's hard to get lower than everybody else on the field.
Very.
So 1st and 10 Wildcats, as once again Preston unsuccessful on a 4th down attempt. That makes them 0 for 2 on 4th down conversion attempts tonight. And it turns the ball over with 1:19 to play. Gibbons wants to throw deep down the far sideline. He's got his man in and out of his hands. There's Elvis again.
Yeah.
Elvis had to go right through his hands, and the way he was running, Elvis was going to be out of the building.
He could have been. He must be the speedster on the team. You know, we call him Elvis because number 84 isn't on our roster. We have no idea who he is, but he definitely can run, and he's always back to receive the kicks and the punts.
So the incomplete pass stops the clock with 1:12 to play. 2nd down and 10. And Preston, or I should say Burley, has had tough starting position all night tonight. This is the 3rd time they've started inside, deep inside their own territory. Gibbons rolling left, wants to throw underneath. Iverson comes over to knock it away. Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 10.
Another great defensive play by Iverson, right in the right spot at the right time. He seems to know how to do that pretty good.
Takes good speed. Once the receiver turns and starts to slow down, wait for the ball. Good closing speed for Andrew Iverson, and able to get a hand in and knock it away. So 3rd and 10. Ball's spotted on the 13. Again, the incomplete pass stops the clock with 1:04 to play in the half. 3 receivers right, single receiver left, plus they have a slot receiver and flags, and that comes in from the side judge here on this side, and I'm guessing somebody from Preston may have lined up offside, and he did. There'll be an offside penalty against the Indians. That'll move the ball 5 yards, but it'll still be 3rd down and 5.
First time we've seen Burley, the Bobcats, spreading the offense. I mean, this is one end of the field to the other. They're spreading it as wide as they can.
Yeah, they got 5 receivers in the formation again. Now, hold on a second. The White Hat calls timeout again. Not sure what the problem is, but now all the officials are going to get together and make sure they got the ball spotted correctly. I'm not sure what the issue is here. Ball spotted just over the 15-yard line.
They just heard the score of the BYU Aggies game. They had to, hey, have you heard the score?
Yeah, there you go.
That's what that huddle was about.
Yeah, so that was the problem. See, to move the ball 5 yards on the offside call, but they only moved it 3.
Oh,
so they pushed the ball 2 yards farther forward. Now they're ready to play.
Okay.
3rd down and 5. I could have told them that. Even I know that math equation. There goes 84 again around the far side. Ooh, he's tripped up before he can get to the 20-yard line. So it's going to be just short of the 1st down. It's going to bring up a 4th down call here. And Coach Thorson doesn't want to let the clock run out, so he calls timeout with 52 seconds to play in the half. And a 4th down, about a long one, maybe 2 coming up here for Burley here after the timeout. So Preston doing exactly what they needed to do in the first half here tonight.
Needed to come out and have an excellent defensive stance, and they did it from the get-go, and they've done it all the way along.
9:51 to play in the first half at Provo. Utah State now leading 21-0.
Wow.
In the second quarter. So it's going to bring up a 4th down and 2 for the Burley Bobcats here with less than a minute to play on the Ron Keller Tires scoreboard here in the first half.
Taking the field again, both teams lined up for the punt.
Yep, they're going to kick it away. Don't want to chance it now, not this deep, and potentially give Preston an easy score in the final minute, so they'll kick it away.
Scotty Dunn deep for the Indians.
Good kick. Dunn comes up. They're going to let it bounce. Takes a big bounce. Trying to get out of the way of it. It's right at the 45-yard line. That's where it will be down and where the Indians will put it back into play. 43 seconds left in the half. Of course, with Ty Hyde's arm, anything is possible from any position on the field. Remember, the tight end, Gordon Knapp, twice has beat his man down the sideline on little out and ups. And it wouldn't surprise me if they try to run another one of those here in the closing moments of the half. 4 receivers, twins to each side. Single running back is Peck. Hyde out of the shotgun. Wants to roll left, looking. Goes out here. That's complete as it's caught there by Isaiah Smith. The clock will run as the ball is going to be marked at the 25-yard line. Got to hurry. Actually, to stop the clock to move the chains.
But still, as soon as they set the ball and the chains are moved, the clock will start again. So get that in. They've already got the play in. They're lined up and they're ready.
So a 30-yard pass completion, and looking, Hyde rolling, throws across the middle into a crowd, tried to go back to Smith again. This one was knocked away. It's incomplete with 23 seconds to play in the half.
Riley Stevens there for the Bobcats in the defense to knock that one to the ground.
So that will stop the clock and give them a chance to regroup here for a second, as they signal the play in from the sideline. Hyde looks over. They'll set up again as they'll go trips right this time. Iverson the lone setback as he stands on Hyde's right shoulder. Second down. Hyde, shotgun snap, rolls right, throws across the middle. He's got a man wide open. Down inside the 5 to the pylon. Touchdown. Scott Dunn.
Man, he was wide open. I don't think he was touched by a defender from the time the ball was snapped until he crossed the goal line.
25-yard touchdown pass for Hyde. That's 131 yards passing here in the first half, unofficially. And Dunn now, after making the touchdown catch, will come out and try to kick the extra points with 15 seconds to play. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good. And on the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard, it is now Preston 19, Burley nothing, with 15 seconds to go here in the first half. So a good drive.
Very good drive.
Didn't think they had a whole lot of time to deal with, but they're able to get it done. The 25-yard touchdown pass.
50-yard drive in what, 5 plays?
Yeah, in less than a minute.
Yeah.
They had to work with.
45 seconds, I think, is when they took it. That's a 30-second drive. 5 plays, touchdown for the Indians.
So 19-0. As after coming up short last week, Eric Thorson has to be cautiously happy the way his team has played here in the first half tonight.
Coach Thorson is asking for somebody to get the balls down here.
He's actually get the ball, and comes the young man who went to get the ball that was kicked into play. He's still arguing about the ball. Just give the official the ball.
Well, they've got a ball up on the tee.
Now they got one. So here comes Iverson. He'll just pooch it along the ground. Didn't want to kick it deep to old number 84 again. It's picked up short. Out to the 40-yard line. He's dropped there at the 40 with only 9 seconds to play here in the first half.
Number 34, Riley Stevens, the up man, picked up the kickoff and made the gain. Or made the run back, I guess.
So 1st and 10 Bobcats. Remember, they will get the second half kickoff. So see if they even try. Maybe they'll just take a knee and let the clock run out and be satisfied with getting the ball to start the second half after the break.
Defense is definitely playing prevent defense, all spread out.
It would look like they're going to run a play. Trips right. See if they're just going to lob it up and see what they can get here. Gibbons letting his team run downfield, throws underneath. It's off the hands of his intended receiver as he tried to get it to Riley Peterson. It was a little bit too far out in front of him. The incomplete pass stops the clock with 2.6 to play in the quarter. So we'll see what Coach Thorson tells his team going at halftime. If I'm Coach Thorson, the only thing I'm telling him is don't let off the gas.
Exactly.
Keep going.
You know, and one of the things they've had trouble with in other games earlier this season is in the second quarter they have a lot of turnovers and they have a lot of penalties. So they need to stay away from those, too, in the second half.
Should be the final play of the half. Gibbons rolling, throws across the middle, and coming up and making the interception. As it is Smelly with the interception, gets back across the 40, finally dragged down from behind. It'll go as a turnover on the final play of the half as Preston gets their second turnover of the night, and that's the way the first half will end, as a nice interception by Luke Schmelly, but not able to take it back. So the first half comes to an end, and on the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard, the Preston Indians leading 19-0 at halftime as we take a timeout. Back after this on 105.5 FM, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com.
The D. Glenn Smith Spectrum on the campus of Utah State University is one of the most electric venues in college basketball. Don't miss your opportunity to secure Utah State basketball season tickets for the 2018-19 season. Join new head basketball coach Craig Smith on the Aggies' quest for a Mountain West Conference championship. To purchase USU basketball season tickets, visit UtahStateAggies.com or call 1-888-U-State-1.
Home sweet home. That's where you go for a home-cooked meal, a good night's sleep, and, well, people who just like you for who you are. So if you call Cache Valley home, we hope you'll call West Motor home. Home to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and of course home to Ram trucks. West Motor Company is home to so many car buyers in this area. It's because they treat you right and give you the best deal they can possibly finagle. Simply put, it feels right at West Motor. WestMotorCompany.com. Welcome home.
When the time finally comes to deliver your new little one, the comforts of home are vital. Franklin County Medical Center understands, and that's why the new maternity suites are designed with a warm family atmosphere, spacious rooms complete with sleeping accommodations for your partner, and state-of-the-art birthing equipment. At Franklin County Medical Center, your new arrival will be welcomed into the world safely, and the expert staff will ensure you're relaxed and comfortable. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and excellence meet.
We're not your ordinary grocery store at Stokes Market and True Value in Preston. We see every customer as a friend and a neighbor. Stokes Market and True Value offers a clean, bright, and modern store with the freshest meats, produce, and bakery. In many ways, we're still old-fashioned. We still bake from scratch, and our bakery items are made in store. You'll never see meat with an ingredient list because our meats are all natural and cut in store. Stop in today. Stokes Market and True Value, 217 South State Street, Preston.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Last play of the game, folks.
And the snap. Drops back. Whoa, changes mind. Down the sideline. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Casasa! Unbelievable! Did you see that? Casasa!
Not to be a buzzkill, but what's Casasa? We're glad you asked that. Casasa. It's a catchy word for earning cash. Free Casasa checking rewards you in cash each month.
Ask for free Casasa checking at Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCU.
When it comes to all things electrical, Sean Carter and the guys at S&T Electrical should always be your go-to crew. With experience in everything from new construction to repairs, service, and new installations, S&T Electrical is professional and friendly in all they do. Your electrical work will be done right. Call S&T Electric today at 208-852-5878.
This is Sean Carter with S&T Electric in Preston, Idaho. It's what we do.
Back, we're at halftime as we welcome you back here to the Skaggs Event Center on the campus of Burley High School in Burley, Idaho, on the banks of the beautiful Snake River. Lovely drive up here today that Val Cook and I made. Different area of the country I hadn't seen before, as the Snake River winding all the way through the area, and it runs just on the outskirts of town, not far from here.
Big, beautiful river it is. Comes out of Yellowstone National Park and winds its way through some of the heart of the Rocky Mountains, and here we are in central Idaho with it just to the north of us.
And it was a very good first half tonight as well for the Preston Indians, as they took the ball down, got it down inside the 5-yard line, turned it over down there, as then Preston went 3 and out on their first attempt and actually tried to punt the ball for about the 5-yard line on their first possession of the night. Bad snap over the punter's head, ended up being a safety, and Preston led 2-0 early in the game. Later on in the first half, Andrew Iverson scored on a 2-yard run. The point after kick was good, and it made it 9-0 after the first quarter of play. In the second quarter, Dunn nailed a 38-yard field goal, his second made field goal of the year. Oddly enough, both of them from 38 yards away. That made it 12-0 just a couple of minutes into quarter number 3. And then, with about a minute to go in the first half, Preston got the ball back, and thanks to a 23-yard pass from Ty Hyde to Dunn, was a completion for the touchdown, and it made it 18-0. The point after made it 19-0, and that's the way it is here as we go to halftime in what was a productive first half tonight for Preston.
Very productive. Not a lot of penalties, a couple of maybe 3 penalties, and a turnover or 2, but I think I don't know if I want to say the offensive line is a good tale for the first half, or whether it's the defense taking care of business, because that was one of your keys to the game going into this game, is the defense had to keep the momentum going from last weekend's game, and they definitely have, if not, picked it up a little bit.
Well, we'd say, first of all, I'll say you're absolutely right. The defense has done exactly what they needed to do, as Burley has only 99 yards of total offense in the first half of tonight's game. Offensively, yes, the offensive line is doing great. They're holding their blocks well, and it's allowing the inside running game, once they decide to stick a foot in the ground and cut it back upfield. There has been a number of big holes for both Peck and Iverson, and it's led to big gains to be able to move the ball very effectively on the ground in the first half.
They've done it very well. It's fun to watch. It really is. At halftime or right before halftime, just a couple of seconds left, one of the coaches, of course, we're in the visitors booth, broadcast booth here at the Skaggs Event Center at Burley High School, and he came down from the roof, one of our Preston coaches, and as he ran by, he slapped us on the back, and he gave me a fist bump, and the coaches are happy.
I didn't see who that was. I was wondering who that was, but thanks. For Preston, they lead at 19-0 here after the first half. We'll check the stat sheet coming up in just a little bit, but I will tell you it is a very impressive stat sheet, as we told you that Burley only had 99 yards of total offense in the first half. Preston rolled up 301 yards of total offense in the first half.
And 130 of those off the arm of Ty.
Yep.
And that just tells you how that offensive line, what we just talked about a minute ago, how the offensive line is opening up that, because if Ty has 138 yards passing. 131, and we have over 300 yards total, that's 170 yards on the ground. That is an offensive line doing its job.
Yeah, exactly. As Ty has had plenty of time to throw.
Yep.
Most of his big throws have come on rollouts. And remember, their 2 biggest opportunities they missed on passes to Gordon Knapp when he got behind his man going down the sidelines. One in the first quarter and one in the second quarter, and the balls were just slightly overthrown and out of his reach to where he couldn't quite reach them.
They were both of those passes went over 50 yards in the air off of Ty's arm. So, add a couple of those to that 131 yards, and whoopee. Here we go.
Exactly.
If you don't mind, I'd just like to read off the lineup for that offensive line. I'd like to get their names out there, give them the recognition they deserve. Now, these were just the 5 linemen that were lined up. I know there's others that work in and out of this line, but Liam Ratchford has been playing a lot. Wes Talbot has been playing a lot. Judd Pendleton, Colby Dean, and Matthew Jensen were the 5 that were in after one of those great big holes were opened up for Dunn late in the second quarter. So I know they're just 5 of the hard-working troop that makes up the Preston line.
Exactly. We'll take a timeout here at halftime. Remember, Preston has won 5 out of the last 6 meetings head-to-head against Burley, and they're sitting pretty, looking to extend that out. Preston leads 19-0 at halftime. We'll take a timeout on 105.5 FM and AM 1340, along with mylocalradio.com.
It's always refreshing to shop where you know you're appreciated. It's even better when you can get everything you need. Quality parts at fair prices. The team at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest appreciate every customer. They work hard to make sure that you have the right part the first time, on time. Whether it's motorcycles, farm and ranch, lawn and garden, or car and truck parts, you can always get it all at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Stop in today at 17 South State Street in Preston.
In business for almost 70 years, Valley Implement has been serving customers with integrity, personalized service, and accountability for generations. Their mission is to contribute to agriculture and the agricultural way of life. When it comes to irrigation, equipment, attachments, parts and service, and precision farming, Valley Implement in Preston is here to work for you. Visit them today, 213 West 8th North, Preston. Valley Implement, all things agriculture.
Are you looking for a better interest rate on your bank accounts or checking account? Then Lewiston State Bank has the answer for you. This is Robert Stevenson, and I'm here to tell you about our MyRate checking account. It is a free checking account that can earn a high interest rate on the first $25,000. This rate is even higher than most savings accounts. So stop by and visit me at our Logan branch on 3rd South in Maine, or go to our website at ls-bank.com and ask us how you can qualify for this high interest rate on your checking account. Lewiston State Bank, a division of People's Intermountain Bank, member FDIC.
Since 1958, when the farmers of Franklin County rolled equipment into the fields for harvest, most of them were rolling on Ron Keller tires, because Keller Tire has the right tires for tractors, combines, swathers, bale wagons, and the trucks that haul hay and grain to market or storage facilities. To keep that equipment rolling during the busy harvest season, Ron Keller Tire also has a fleet of service trucks that make repairs in-field to minimize downtime. Best wishes for a safe and productive harvest from Ron Keller Tires in Preston and North Logan. As one of the region's most visited websites, mylocalradio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Stream your favorite music all day, every day, or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit mylocalradio.com today to stream it all live.
Welcome back. We're at halftime. Preston Indians leading the Burley Bobcats 19-0. Get you an update here on what's going on down in Provo tonight. 2:46 to play in the first quarter, or the first half there, and Utah State now leading 21-7 over the BYU Cougars. And then game down at Provo. One other game tonight in the NC2A, Georgia Tech hammered Louisville, winning by the score of 66-31. So a couple of a lopsided score, and Utah State leading BYU by 14 in the waning moments of the first half down in Provo. Before we went to break, I mentioned that Preston has beaten Burley 5 out of the last 6 times. Last year they beat them in Preston by a score of 10-0. So they've pitched a shutout now for 6 consecutive quarters against the Bobcats. And the defense, as we talked about right off the top of the broadcast, really picking it up for where they left off last week.
They did. It started with that safety in the end zone down early in the first half.
So the Burley band leaving the field here on senior night as teams will come back out and get ready for the second half of play here tonight. Let's take another break. We'll come back, And we'll look at the stat sheet from the first half as impressive numbers up and down the stat sheet for the Preston Indians as they rolled up 301 yards in the first half. We'll check that as we come back. You're listening to Preston Indian Football on 105.5 FM, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com.
Home to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and of course.
When you work as an auxiliary member at the Franklin County Medical Center, your service is felt by all of Franklin County. Register to become an auxiliary worker at noon on October 8th at the Franklin County Firehouse. Auxiliary members receive free flu shots, appreciation gifts and dinners, a Christmas party, a discount in the Simply Gifts shop, plus you'll make new friends and develop new leadership skills. Come and learn all the great ways you can serve as an auxiliary member. The auxiliary recruitment meeting will be held October 8th at noon at the Franklin County Firehouse.
Home sweet home. That's where you go for a home-cooked meal, a good night's sleep, and, well, people who just like you for who you are. So if you call Cache Valley home, we hope you'll call West Motor home. Home to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and of course home to Ram trucks. West Motor Company is home to so many car buyers in this area. It's because they treat you right and give you the best deal they can possibly finagle. Simply put, it feels right at West Motor. WestMotorCompany.com. Welcome home.
Behind every project is a True Value. At Stokes Market and True Value in Preston, whether you need hardware, dog food, tools, batteries, plumbing supplies, paint, or cleaning products, you'll find them all. Plus a whole lot more at Stokes Market and True Value. With a large inventory, you'll find all the big name brands you trust and low prices every time you visit. So whether you're just starting or you're in the middle of a project, stop in today and visit our friendly, knowledgeable staff. Stokes Market and True Value, 217 South State Street, Preston.
Preston football brought to you in part by Ron Keller Tire, Valley Implement, Preston Auto Parts, CarQuest, also Lewiston State Bank, Franklin County Medical Center, My Local Radio, West Motors, Stokes Market, True Value, S&T Electric, Vantage Plus, Federal Credit Union, and Idaho Salvage. On the stat sheet, Val, we talked about impressive numbers. Ty Hyde in the first half, 6 of 9 for 131 yards and a touchdown in the first half. Running the ball, Caleb Peck carried the ball 8 times for a total of 54 yards. Isaiah Smith, 1 carry for 13. Ty Hyde ran the ball twice for a total of 7 yards. Garrett Ward ran it twice for 21 yards. And Andrew Iverson, 9 carries, 71 yards in the first half. If there was a blemish in the first half for Preston, it's they had 5 penalties for a total of 40 yards. They had 9 first downs. They were 1 out of 2 on third down conversion attempts and 0 for 2 overall trying to pick up a first down on fourth down. For Burley in the first half, the quarterback, Ethan Gibbons, 0 for 3 passing. It was Riley Stevens carried the ball 1 time for 13 yards. Brandon Bowen, 5 carries for a total of 4 yards. Our friend number 84, we don't have a name for, 1 carry for 17 yards. And Gibbons ended up carrying the ball 4 times for 26 yards in the first half. Parker Jones had 1 carry for 2 yards in the first half. So a big gap offensively in the first half for Preston. 131 yards or 301 yards, I should say, of total offense to just 99 for Burley. As we'll kick it off here to start the second half, as Andrew Iverson will put a toe to it, drives it down. It's going to be short, taken by one of the up men, and that is Gomez. Gomez, who's also their punter, gets the ball up to the 35-yard line, and that's where the Bobcats will put it back into play here, their first possession of half number 2. So we're glad to have you along with us here tonight. Nice first half production-wise for Preston in the first half, as they roll up 300 yards of total offense and lead 19-0. Here's first down play from scrimmage here in the second half tonight. They'll go out of the shotgun, man in motion. As it comes to Gibbons, he'll toss it outside. Nice run as they get across to the 45 up to about the 47. That's Riley Stevens with a nice gain on the play.
Stevens knocking down a couple of the defenders to pick up that first down.
Give him 13 on the first down carry. And a first down right from jump for the Bobcats. They had only 4 first downs in the first half. That's how dominant the defense was for Preston in the first half tonight. Stevens goes in motion back the other way. Gibbons will toss it outside again to Gibbons. There's a block in the back that is not going to get called as Stevenson able to get across midfield. It was Walter Iverson who was trying to string the play out, and one of the offensive linemen came around and pushed him in the middle of the back, and nobody saw it. And that's let Stevenson spring it across midfield up to the 46-yard line for another gain of 6 on the play. Not blaming anybody, just pointing out the obvious.
Well, they can't see everything. Nobody got hurt, so.
No need to see everything, but at least that one play would have been nice.
There you go.
As again, it's Stevens straight ahead. He'll pick up another first down as he gets the ball across the 40 up to the 38-yard line. So give Stevens another 7 yards on that carry. So 25 yards in offense for Stevens in the first 3 plays of the second half for the Bobcat offense. Gibbons wants to throw. Now he's going to roll left. Pulls the ball down, tucks it away, gets around the corner, gets it over the 30-yard line. So to mark him out of bounds at about the 28.
That'll be close to a first down.
And see where they're going to mark it. Official looks over across the way, and it is indeed a first down. So it's a 10-yard scramble for Ethan Gibbons. Now remember what you said, that Preston has a tendency to kind of let up and play a little loose in the second half, and so far here in this first drive for Burley until right there.
Oh, yeah.
As they had. But as soon as he got the ball, Bowen was just manhandled and thrown down. By the way, a penalty marker also comes in from the back judge. So to add insult to injury, this very well could be a holding penalty. Let's see.
Connor Schaefer and one of the big interior linemen on defense penetrated and able to knock down the running back. But, like he said, where is that flag going to take us? Yeah, it's got to be against.
They're talking to the Preston defense. And yeah, coaches are halfway out on the field want to know what the penalty was, because the official tonight, he'll make the indications to the press box side, and he never does tell the Preston bench what the penalty is. So the holding penalty, they will move the ball back 10 yards, and it'll bring up first down and 21 actually, as they'll spot the ball right about the 40-yard line, just a hair over the 40-yard line.
It's our defense stepping up again. Good.
Roll out left. Gibbons cuts it inside, and coming over is Connor Schaefer, who you mentioned a couple of times, making the first contact with him. Keeps it to a short gain as they'll set the ball just over the 40. In fact, it is so short a gain, it's still going to be second down and 21. So Schaefer on defense coming over to make a couple of good tackles. In fact, coming into the game tonight, he was one of the team leaders. He had 32 total tackles on the year coming into the game here tonight.
Well, he's picked up a few more tonight.
And hold on, we got whistles. And now we're going to get together. The referee wants to get together with the side judge from this side. Now Schaefer comes off, kind of hobbling just a little bit.
He'll be replaced by Javin Chatterton, taking his place there on that defensive line.
Looks like maybe a right ankle bothering him a little bit, trying to walk off whatever's ailing him. As one of the trainers now comes over to talk to him. As again, the officials still chatting. I think they're trying to decide what down it is.
That's kind of what the indication I got after they broke up their little huddle.
So it's going to be second down. 2nd and 21. Just about 3 minutes into the second half. Gibbons out of the shotgun. Stevens in motion back here to the near side. Gibbons wants to throw. Again, he pulls it down, rolling left. Still looking. He gets rid of it just before he runs out of bounds. It's almost picked off.
Schmelly right there.
Had it, dropped it.
Luke Schmelly up in the air right in front of the defender. Oh, I thought that was a pick.
2 turnovers in the first half. Couple of takeaways by the Indians, and they almost had one here on the first possession for Burley in half number 2. So it's 3rd down and 21. Clock stops with 9:07 to play early on here in quarter number 3. And now, as we look down here below us, there's Schaefer, almost more like it's a hip rather than an ankle that's bothering him. Shotgun snap, swing the ball underneath as it goes to 84 again. Again, a player we don't have a name for. He's chased out of bounds about the 30, but that's going to be well short of the first down. Believe it or not, that's the first completion of the night for Gibbons. As they'll say he stepped out of bounds at about the 33. So it's still going to be 4th down and about 15 here. So it's a 7-yard gain. Gibbons now 1 for 4 passing on the night. So Gibbons out of the shotgun. Long 4th down attempt. He wants to throw. Steps up into the pocket, and they're going down again. Sack number 3. Peck got him again.
Boom.
So on 4th down, when they go for it, they come up empty once again. They're 0 for 3 tonight on 4th down, and 1st and 10 for Preston in pretty good field position as again they turn it over on downs.
Excellent defense with the coverage. Every time the quarterback for the Bobcats goes back to try and throw, the coverage is just, he can't find anybody open.
So Caleb Peck with his first 2 sacks of the night in the game here tonight. Preston defense with 3 sacks overall and 1st and 10 from their own 38. They already lead 19-0 on the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard here. 3 receivers right, a little receiver screen underneath, and a big hole and running down the sidelines. That is done, and he's going all the way. Touchdown.
Touchdown. That's about a 60-yard run.
62.
62-yard touchdown run for Scotty Dunn.
So on their first play from scrimmage in the second half, a 62-yard touchdown throw. Little wide receiver screen. Dunn came across underneath the other 2 receivers on that trip setup right and came back across the formation, had nothing but green in front of him. Dunn with the extra point. It is up and it is good. And that makes it 26-0 after the 62-yard touchdown pass. Dunn's 2nd touchdown of the night. So the timeout on the field, we'll take it here as well on the Ron Keller scoreboard. Preston leading 26-0 on 105.5 FM and AM 1340, along with mylocalradio.com.
When you see that big green dinosaur, whether at your favorite gas station or convenience store on the side of a delivery truck, you know quality Sinclair products are available there from Hall Oil Company. Hall Oil is a family-owned and operated business that's been serving folks in Cache Valley since 1947. They're your local fuel and oil broker with a low-price guarantee. Another guarantee that's been really important this winter is that when you fill your fuel tanks with premium winter diesel fuel from Hall Oil, it's guaranteed not to gel even when the temperature drops below 0. It's the no-gel guarantee from Hall Oil Company.
So the 62-yard touchdown pass extends the lead for Preston. as Andrew Iverson will kick it back into play. As again, this is going to come down to Gomez. Gomez trying to go across the field is dropped at about the 31-yard line. So 2 touchdown passes on consecutive attempts, one near the end of the first half and one their first play in quarter number 3, as Hyde hits Dunn twice for touchdowns, first for 25 yards and here for 62, and Hyde unofficially goes over 200 yards passing on the night for the first time this year.
Very nice. Just excuse me. And Scotty Dunn ran that crossing route, and he was just open all the way. Once again, I don't think a defensive hand even touched him in that play, that 62-yard pass play.
I don't believe so either. And now hold on, we got penalty markers thrown by the official behind the play. They're going to be illegal participation, illegal substitution. And that's going to move the offense back before they can even get the ball snapped. So it is indeed an illegal substitution called against Burley. That'll push the ball back 5 more yards tonight against the Bobcats. That's their 3rd penalty for a total of 20 yards in the game. So first down and 15. They're going the wrong way. Give it inside. Stevenson makes one move, gets away from one man, but then coming over is Zach Davis, the 6'1 junior, to drag him down.
Nice little pickup, a few yards.
It's a gain of 6. Make it 2nd down and 9.
He looks like if he could break something open, he's fast enough that he could get somewhere, but luckily he hasn't been able to do that yet.
He is elusive. We'll give him that. He does have good moves. They'll give it to him again. Breaks a tackle again, and again it's Davis, the first man to hit him as he comes across the 35 ahead to the 36. Another 4-yard gain for Stevens. That's 6 carries unofficially now for 50 yards for Riley Stevens. 3rd down and 6. Another big stand here for the Preston defense. Can they get off the field again here on another 3rd down attempt? Gibbons rolling left, still rolling, throws underneath, in and out of the man's hands, incomplete. Pass was a little high. Tried to get it to Bowen, and it went right through his mitts.
Defense was all around him, but it was still, the pass was off.
And I believe that Cody Condi comes out on the field, so they'll kick it away. And they will. They'll kick it away. Scott Dunn will go back deep. Luke Schmelly is the up man awaiting the punt. Pretty good punt. High. They'll let it bounce. Bounces about the 35 and picked up by Stevenson at about the 30-yard line as it started to bounce backwards. And that's where the Preston offense will come back out onto the field and put it back into play.
It was about a perfect punt, about 35 yards, very, very high. His team was down. If they would have tried to catch that, they would have been hit pretty hard on that special teams play. So letting it bounce was the wise decision.
7:07 to play here in quarter number 3. Preston leading 26-0. They try to snap a 3-game losing streak. 3 receivers come to the left, single receiver right. Andrew Iverson, the lone setback. Shotgun snap, they fake it there, and there they go. They want to go for it long again, down the sidelines, and incomplete. Dunn was out there again, as Dunn almost had to wait for the ball to come to him. He outran the throw, and it allowed the defensive man to get back into the play, and the ball fell incomplete. So the 62-yard touchdown pass on the last possession for the Indians not only was Hyde's 5th touchdown pass of the year, but also his longest. Again, trips left. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to Iverson. Coming left, trying to get around the corner. Gets a pretty good block from behind. Gets across the 40. Spins out of a tackle at the 50. Still on his feet to the 45.
Beautiful run I love his spin moves. He gets somebody gets him in a grasp, and he'll just spin one way or the other, break the grasp, and able to keep chugging along for another 6-8 yards.
He rambles for 20, and now has 91 yards rushing in the game. Like that 20-yard gain. Whoops, I'm looking at the wrong person. Sorry. His longest rush of the year was 27 yards. So that almost equals his longest run of the year at 20 yards. 1st and 10 from the Bobcat 45. They'll give it to Peck. Peck trying to get around the corner. Misses, makes one man miss and gets ahead to the 40. Near the 40. They might mark it at the 41. See where they spot it. It'll be a gain of 4 as they spot the ball down at the 41-yard line. 2nd down and 6 coming up. As they look back over here to the near sidelines again. Everybody getting the play as it's signaled in from the offensive coordinator. They stay with that spread offense. I really like the way this works for them. Four receivers almost on every play. They go trips left again. Single setback is Peck. And out of the shotgun, Hyde. Inside handoff goes to Peck. Gets across the 40 to about the 39-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down after a 2-yard gain for Caleb Peck.
Franklin Tilley on that interior line making the hit and bringing Peck down for the Bobcats.
Unofficially, that's 9 carries for Peck for 56 yards on the night. 3rd down and 3. From the Bobcat 39. Hyde takes a second to look back at the clock as it's running with 4:50 to play. Here in quarter number 3. Inside handoff to Iverson. Big hole right up the middle. Has the 1st down. Still on his feet. Across the 25 to the 24-yard line before they drag him down.
Defensive line of the Bobcats did a little stunt right before that play. Cody Condell, he switched from the outside and came into the interior of the line, but he was the one that got blocked on his butt to open up that hole for the big gain for the Indians.
So 12 first downs now on the night. 16 yards on the play for Iverson. And he's up over 100 yards tonight as he's at 107. He's almost doubled his output in one game here tonight. Coming into the game tonight, he had 134 yards rushing on the year. Peck back in there, gets the handoff. He's coming left. Again, trying to get around the corner. He gets knocked down from behind as he might get a yard coming here toward the left side.
Eric Cartwright on the defensive play for the Bobcats.
So they do give him 1. 2nd down and 9. Iverson back in there now at the running back position. As again, they'll stay with the 4 wides. 3 here to the left. Single receiver over on the far side. That is done. He lines up split right. Iverson the lone setback. Hyde wants to throw back to Dunn across the middle. In and out of Dunn's hands.
Knocked down by Ramos. Alex Ramos on the defense.
So he rolled left, stopped, and tried to throw back across the field. And Ramos was there to get a hand on it and knock it away from Dunn as he was trying to cut across the middle of the field.
I'm not sure who was playing offense and who was playing defense on that. It was kind of a toss-up there. They both had a chance to catch it.
3rd down and 3. Ball spotted at the 22. Well, check that, 3rd down and 8, I should say, from the 22. Shotgun snap. Hyde spins out, rolls right, throws toward the back of the end zone. He's got a man. Schmelly just out of his reach. Tried to just lay it out there and let Schmelly run for it, but he came up about a step and a half short. So it'll bring up 4th down. Hold on, penalty marker back here. You know what? Hyde was knocked down after he released the pass. This might be a roughing the passer penalty. And if it is, it's going to be a big one against the Bobcats. As I saw Hyde having to pick himself up. Looking downfield toward the end zone. Yep. They're going to walk it off against the Bobcats. They're going to walk it up to the 16-yard line. So it'll be short of the first down. It's only a 5-yard penalty, so I'm not exactly sure what the call was.
It should. No, they're automatic first down. They're moving the chains now.
Okay, so
I thought roughing the passer was a 10-yard.
So I thought it was 15, actually.
Oh.
But they only walked it off 5 yards unless they only made it half the distance.
Oh, that could have been.
Yeah, that's what it was. Roughing the passer, half the distance. That's why they got the first down.
Okay.
So first and goal. Yeah, now they're going to move the ball again. So once again, their math was off as they set the ball down at the 11. First and goal from there. and now Ty Hyde is just kind of walking around with thinking, okay, come on. We're ready. What's up with you? All right, finally the officials blow it ready for play. First and goal from the 11. Or as running the ball right is Peck. So I said first and goal. It's actually first and 10 from the 11. And Peck gets the ball down to the 6, so it's another 5-yard gain for Caleb. Gives him 62 yards rushing on the night. And it's second down. Remember, they can score a touchdown without scoring or get a first down without scoring a touchdown, I should say. But they have to get down to just about the 1-yard line or slightly inside of it. Second goal. They go kind of a little gadget play with Hyde now lining up outside, and this is running the ball, putting his head down and getting to the 5-yard line.
Number 6.
That was Isaiah Smith who took the snap as he ran the ball to about the 5-yard line. And that'll bring up third and goal. I should say third and about 4 now. Again, they can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Hyde back in at quarterback. Nope, it's Schmelly this time. He's going to roll. He wants to throw. Throws for the back of the end zone. And the Preston man was practically tackled trying to wait for the ball. No call.
That was Hyde back in the receiving role. Schmelly at the quarterback on that play. That is a play that we saw real early in the year. It was a...
Right. But Hyde was practically tackled waiting for the ball to get there. No call against the Bobcat defense. And now it'll be done to come on and kick another field goal. They'll spot this at the 12, so it'll be a 22-yard attempt right in the middle, so just about straight away. A little more than an extra point, and it is good. Makes it 29-0 on the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard with 1:46 to play here in quarter number 3. Take a 30-second timeout. We'll come back with a kickoff after this on 105.5 FM, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
So I'm a typical banking customer.
And I'm a nearby ATM.
And I'm taking $20 out of my account.
And I'll process that $20 and take back $4.
Why do machines designed to give us money end up taking it right back? Introducing Kasasa, the free account that pays refunds on ATM fees and a lot more. To find a free Kasasa checking account near you, search Kasasa.
Ask for free Kasasa checking at Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Welcome back after the field goal. The Indians now up 29-0. 1:46 to play in the half. We'll get you an update on the Utah State game here in just a second as the ball's driven down to 84, picks it up on a couple of hops. He wants to go left, stretching it out across the field. He can run out of bounds at about the 20-yard line over on the far side of the field where the Bobcat offense will come back out on the field. Ron Keller, Tire scoreboard tells us they are at halftime in Provo, and Utah State leading 21-7 over the BYU Cougars.
Halftime. They did a little dipsy-doodle kind of a, I don't know how you'd describe it, a trick play on that reception of that kickoff, as number 84 was back deep to receive, and one of his up men hurried and switched places with him, so he was in position to catch that ball.
1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 20. Gibbons inside handoff goes to Stevens. Gets a nice hole, gets a gain of 5 off the right side. As Riley Stevens will gain 5. It gives him 55 yards unofficially on 7 carries tonight. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Clock will run, 1:15 to play here in quarter number 3 as Preston looking to throw a 7th straight quarter of shutout football against the Bobcat offense. Going back to last year when they beat them at Preston by a score of 10-0. As the handoff goes to 84. Boy, still on his feet. Gets across the 30 of the 35. Be good enough for a 1st down.
There were some big hits in that run back. Some blocks that, I could feel them up here.
Give him a 1st down on that 10-yard run. Ball up to the 35. 1st and 10 here. Inside a minute to play here in quarter number 3. 45 seconds on the clock. Bowen goes in motion. They give it to Stevens again. Stacked up. Gets across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. He'll pick up a couple and maybe one more play here in the quarter before it runs out.
Third quarter seems to have gone quite quickly in this game compared to the second quarter. Of course, there was a lot of passing. A lot of incomplete passes on both sides in that second quarter.
Offense back up to the line of scrimmage. I formation behind Gibbons, who sets under center. Fake handoff, rolls left, throws left, and it's in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Riley Peterson, with 5 seconds to play here in quarter number 3. So it'll be 3rd and 7 coming up here for the Bobcat offense, who have struggled tonight on 3rd downs. They have earned only 1 1st down tonight in a 3rd down efficiency situation. I have them as one of 7 on 3rd down plays here tonight. 3rd and 7. I formation again behind Gibbons. Wants to throw. Throws underneath. This time it's caught by Peterson. And he's going to be brought down short of the 45-yard line, which is going to bring up a 4th down situation. Half a second remaining here in the quarter as he was knocked out of bounds. So they'll run one more play here. It'll be 4th down, and it appears the offense is going to stay on the field. It will, as Gibbons comes back in. They start the clock and let the clock run out. So we'll move to the quarter number 4 before they try this 4th down play. After 3 tonight on the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard, Preston leading by a score of 29-0. We'll take a timeout on 105.5 FM and AM 1340 and mylocalradio.com. When it comes to all things electrical, Sean Carter and the guys at S&T Electrical should always be your go-to crew. With experience in everything from new construction to repairs, service, and new installations, S&T Electrical is professional and friendly in all they do. Your electrical work will be done right. Call S&T Electric today at 208-852-5878.
This is Sean Carter with S&T Electric. It's what we do.
Fourth quarter of tonight's game is brought to you by Valley Implement in Preston, serving agricultural customers since 1951. So 4th down is what the Bobcats will look at to start quarter number 4 here tonight. 4th down and 2. And they'll keep the offense on the field. Full house backfield behind Gibbons, who sets under center. They give it to the up man. He's going to get there just barely. No, I don't think he got it.
I don't think he did.
They spotted him right at the 45. He needed to get over the 45. I think he's about a length of the football short. In fact, here comes the Preston offense onto the field. They know he's short.
Well, it happened 10 yards from the sideline. It was right in front of their noses.
If our friendly neighborhood referee says, nope, that's a first down, Indians. So the defense holds. Again, another big stand by the Preston defense. So Stevens got 2, but he needed 2.5. And the offense comes back out of the field here. Just a few seconds into quarter number 4. They'll send twin receivers to each side. Iverson, the lone setback. And somebody else playing quarterback now here as well. As they'll give it to Iverson. He comes right, gets across the 40 up to the 39-yard line. As Hunter Wright, the sophomore, now in at quarterback, at least for that play. And he stays out there, so it looks like Mr. Hyde will call it a night, leading by 29 after 3 quarters of play. 6-yard gain for Iverson.
You said Hunter Wright?
Number 23.
That is Nathan Cass.
Okay, I had Hunter Wright on mine.
I'm sorry. I just have the...
Okay.
Ones they gave out at the gate.
Unless there was a change. That's not the one I got there from the staff at the high school the other day. But either way, that's Iverson rolling forward for 4 more. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 1.
I remember the lady at the high school when she handed you, yours has got to be right. Because she handed it to you and says, I've just checked all of those numbers and they're going to be right.
Okay.
So.
And the inside handoff. And they're going to be just short of the first down. And they're going to try to keep it going in a hurry up here. 4th down and short. And Wright will come back and settle under center. They'll toss it to Davis. Zach Davis on his first carry of the night is going to be stacked up and stopped short of the first down. So Zach Davis loses a yard, and Preston will turn the ball over on downs as they try to get some playing time for some of the other players here in quarter number 4. So Davis kind of strung out a little bit. No gain on the play, and they'll turn it over. 1st and 10 here for Burley again. As the number 1 defense will come back out on the field. So quickly, Ty Hyde, who thought he had the rest of the night off, has to run out and snap the helmet back on. 84 has it going right, gets around the corner, still on his feet, across the 50 to the 45 before he's finally chased out of bounds.
That play developed fast.
That's a run of 18 and a first down. He was doing so well, I wish we had his name. That's 58 yards rushing for him tonight. As they go back to that stacked full house offensive set, they give it to 84 again, and he swarmed under. Ran into the line, and then the first guy there to come and hit him for Preston, big number 65, Hudson Nelson. First man to hit him. Loss of a couple, 2nd down and 12.
One of the first time tonight we called Hudson's name, but definitely not the first time this year.
No, not at all. In fact, he had a number of tackles coming into the game. And they're trying to roll and getting away. Gibbons now gets rolling right, gets across the line of scrimmage, and maybe end up with about a 4-yard gain in what looked like was going to be about a 10-yard loss, as he was able to slip out of Connor Schaefer's grasp in what would have been the 4th sack of the night. So Gibbons gains 4, gives him 50 yards rushing on the night. Unofficially on 6 carries. And it'll be 3rd down and 7. And in motion again is Bowen. Gibbons, inside handoff. That's Stevens, who's going to be short of the first down by about a yard or so before they finally bring him down. I take it back. That was not Stevens. That was Jason Castillo on the carry, number 19.
Both of these teams the last few minutes just grinding it out on the ground, seeing if they can.
Yeah, trying to get some other players in there offensively on both sides, and seeing that Preston has kind of offensively called off the dog, so to speak, and Stevens takes off a heartbeat too early. That's going to be another penalty here against Burley and move him back another 5 yards. But the one category that Burley has done pretty well tonight is that's only their 4th penalty on the night. So it pushes the ball back 5. It's 4th down again, 4th and 7, as the offense again will stay on the field. So they're trying to get some playing time for some other people as well. Gomez is going to split out right. Bowen in motion back here to the near side. Fake the handoff. Gibbons rolling left, still rolling, throws underneath, and it is picked off. Did he get a foot down in bounds or not? Nope, it's out of bounds. Schmaley able to make the interception, but he came down out of bounds. But it was a 4th down play, and it should turn the ball over back to Preston anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And it will. So hold on, don't get too far ahead of ourselves. We got a penalty flag back here.
Oh, yeah.
Back where Gibbons was rolling and got rid of the ball right along the sidelines. Let's make sure. It looks like the defense is coming back on the field. One of the Preston defenders didn't take a little extra liberty. And that's exactly what it was. It's a roughing the passer penalty against Preston, and it'll be an automatic 1st down here for the Bobcat offense.
Well, the ref was standing so close he didn't have far to throw that flag when it hit, so he must have seen.
That's a big walk-off.
Of that play.
That's a big walk-off, 15 yards. That's 60 yards in penalties tonight against the Indians.
It's less than they've had in games past.
Set the ball down at the 29. 1st and 10 from there. Bowen in motion to the right side this time. They toss it to 84 again. And gets up to about the 25-yard line. Be a gain of 4. You know, I wish the one night that we're on the opposite side of the field from where the official press box is, we'd be able to find out who that player is, but unfortunately we're not able to. Second down and 7. After the 3-yard gain, inside handoff, runs over a man, gets across the 20 up to about the 17-yard line this time.
Dylan Hansen on the stop. Here's the guy that got run over. First man to hit the running back.
I believe that was Gino Loomis, number 10, who carried the ball. Third down and short here. 6:25 to play here in the ball game. Preston leading 29-0.
Moving the chains.
So they got just enough for the 1st down, so it'll be 1st and 10. Ball spotted on the 18. Handoff again to the deep man. As Alexis Rivas on the carry. Again, another name that we don't have.
When the scores get lopsided like this, they do a lot of substitution of the underclassmen. Both teams do, and
absolutely
makes it hard to keep track of numbers.
Inside handoff again. And they get down to about the 7-yard line. As again coming off the bottom of the pile. Not sure who the ball carrier was. Hold on, timeout called by the officials. And not sure what exactly they're looking at now again. But again, the referee wants to walk over and look. Close to a first down. It is. It's a first down. So it'll be first and goal.
First and goal from the 8, maybe?
Looks like it. About the 8-yard line. Bellwood in motion right. Gibbons rolling left. Still rolling. Now he's running for his life, trying to get to the end zone and the sideline. Stops and cuts up the sideline, and he's in for the touchdown. So Ethan Gibbons with an 8-yard touchdown run. That snaps the shutout streak at about 7.5 quarters, roughly. Makes it 29-6. And being senior night, they finally get on the board. They set off some aerial fireworks here. And looks like they'll line up and go for 2 here. As Gibbons will line up under center. Gibbons will give it to the deep man. And that's Rivas. No good. So Rivas comes up short. And it stays 29-6 with 5:36 to play here in the quarter number 4. Take a quick break. We'll come back with a kickoff. Preston Indian football leading 29-6 over the Burley Bobcats on 105.5 FM and AM 1340, along with mylocalradio.com.
Do you like earning interest on your money? If so, Lewiston State Bank has the account for you. This is Shelley Austin, and I'm here to tell you about our MyRate checking account. It is a free checking account that can earn a high rate of interest on the first $25,000. The rate is even higher than that of most savings accounts. So stop by and visit me at our Tremonton branch, or go to our website at ls-bank.com and ask us how you can qualify for this high interest rate on your checking account. Lewiston State Bank, a division of People's Intermountain Bank, member FDIC.
So Burley gets on the scoreboard. 8-yard touchdown run by Ethan Gibbons. The 2-point conversion, no good. So 29-6 on the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard with 5:36 to play in the fourth quarter of tonight's game, brought to you by Valley Implement in Preston, serving agricultural customers since 1951. Little pooch kick over along the far sidelines, and it checks up like a nice 9-iron. And having to dive on it was Scott Dunn as he covers it at the 41-yard line, and that's where the Preston offense will come back out onto the field.
Good play by the special teams there in that there was only one player deep to receive. The rest of all of that team was up within 10, 15 yards of where the ball was kicked. They were expecting that onside or pooch kick.
Sophomore Hunter Wright stays in at quarterback here for Preston. As lining up on his left shoulder is Zach Davis in the backfield. 1st and 10. They'll give it to Davis straight ahead. Breaks a couple of tackles on his feet across the 45 up to the 47. He gains 12 and a first down. So a nice run by Zach Davis. Here's a number for you on the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard. Halfway through quarter number 3 down in Provo. Utah State leading BYU. They've extended the lead. It's now 28-7. The Aggies on top. Four wides, 2 to each side. Lone setback in the backfield. Stands on the right shoulder of Wright. Hunter's going to keep it. Now, end around as he gives the ball instead to the wide receiver over there. Coming back was Dane Keller. Keller's tackled almost immediately, and there'll be a loss of about 3 yards on the play.
Lemus right there, as soon as he got that handoff, he was right there to wrap him up.
And after bring up 2nd down and long and wanting to save some time on the clock, Burley takes a timeout. with 4:28 left here in the fourth quarter. So wanting to get the offense back out on the field after they able to move it that time, last possession against the Preston defense, and finally break what was a 7.5 quarter scoreless streak going back to last year's game, and finally get on the scoreboard. So in the last 7.5 quarters against the Preston defense, the Burley Bobcats have a total of 6 points to show for it. Second down and about 15 here.
A lot of new numbers on the field there.
As I'm wondering what the officials are doing now. This is not that hard.
They're changing out the ball. Something was wrong with the ball.
Okay, well, it doesn't take an act of Congress to change out a football.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, no kidding. As you know, the 3-member subcommittee, they're trying to discuss where exactly we should put the ball down when we change it out. How about right next to the other one? So 4 wides again for the Indians. Wants to throw underneath. Oh, almost picked off. As he tried to go underneath and get the ball to Austin Liberty, it was behind him and almost picked off. There on the defensive play, Daniel Barker for the Bobcats, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 16 here for Preston as the incomplete pass stops the clock. Reminder, next week Preston's at home against Pocatello, and we'll be back on AM 1340 next week as well, as we get bumped off the radio onto the internet only tonight because of Utah State football. We'll be back on AM 1340 next week. Right rolling, directing traffic, and throws down deep, and is going to fall incomplete again as he was trying to go deep, and it was over the head of one man and short of Dalen Hansen, the senior, who was out there trying to come back for the ball, but it was short of him, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 15 in a punting situation here. So for the few times tonight, the punt team comes out onto the field, and Isaiah Smith, I think it's only his 2nd punt tonight, averages almost 27 yards a punt. And Riley Stevens back deep to receive the punt here. Line drive punt. Stevens is going to watch it go. Hits it about the 22. Takes a big bounce down inside the 10. And it's going to roll out of bounds at the 5, maybe just inside the 5. That won't hurt the average. You remember the other punt, the first punt that he had tonight, bounced at about the 25 and did the same thing.
Did the same thing, and it was a couple of plays later that the Indians got the safety in the end zone, set up their first points.
So 1st and 10 for the Bobcats, again back deep inside their own territory for the 3rd time tonight. They start inside their own 10-yard line. So 1st and 10 as they spot the ball on the 4. Gibbons stays in at quarterback. Man in motion goes from left to right. Gibbons looking, now throws over the middle, and it's too tall and too long as try to get it to Braden Bowen, his intended receiver, and it was incomplete. So as checking some of the other potential games tonight, and Pocatello came in with only a 2-4 record as well. But you have to figure by the time, unless they can pull off a monumental upset tonight against Minico, they're going to come into that game next week at 2-5. Don't have any access to any scores tonight, unfortunately. We wish we could keep you updated on some other things going on. We're not able to as the ball run forward. Short gain on the play. Rivas gets off the bottom of the pile. 3rd down and 7, so a gain of 3 for Rivas. 3:22, clock runs. Gibbons wants to throw. Steps out of one tackle. Coming left, trying to get around the corners. Jukes his way around Dunn and then runs out of bounds as he gets up to about the 16-yard line. And that would be good enough for a first down.
12-yard gain.
So a 12-yard gain by the quarterback, Gibbons.
Again, great defense downfield. He was looking to pass that ball as much as he could until he crossed the line of scrimmage.
Timeout to move the chains. 62 yards rushing now for Gibbons on the night. As they mark it officially at the 17. First and 10 from there. Bowen back in motion right. Gibbons hands off to Rivas. Rivas gets across the 25, falls forward to the 26. It was actually Castillo on the carry. Castillo picks up 8, makes a nice move in the hole to pick up another extra 3 or 4 yards. Actually, looks like closer to 10. It's going to be second down in inches coming up here as we go underneath 3 minutes here remaining in the game. 2:50 to play and the clock runs. Stevenson, the deep man this time, and they stack him up right at the 30-yard line, but that's going to be enough for another first down.
Grinding it out on the ground here in this Valley Implement fourth quarter. Watching Preston Indians football here on mylocalradio.com.
So just keeping the ball on the ground. Of course, Gibbons has not had a good night passing anyway. He's 1 of 5 for only 7 yards tonight throwing the ball. Back under center again. Man in motion again is Bowen coming here to the near side. Gibbons going to keep it rolling right, trying to get around the corner. Gets around one man, gets across the 40, across midfield, up across the 45, falls forward near the 40-yard line of Preston.
One of the few times that he's rolled out to the right. I don't think Preston was expecting that.
That's a 30-yard gain.
Looked like a quarterback keeper from the outset. That's the way that play was designed.
That gives him right at 100 yards rushing tonight. That's 8 carries after that 30-yard pickup for 92 yards. And another offensive first down here for Burley here in the quarter. And off Stevenson. Gets across up near the 35, stopped at the 36. It'll be another gain of 4 for Stevenson. And second down and 6 coming up. And as Coach Thorson has now started to get some other guys in there, the Burley offense is starting to show a little bit of success on the ground, but against really what is a second-team defense here. Is the number 1 defense tonight for the Indians was very stout through 3 quarters. Gibbons throws underneath, has a man. It's caught. Ahead across the 20 down to about the 15-yard line. And I believe that was Eduardo Valencia, number 11, who made the catch. It's a gain of 14. Timeout called by Burley again. So a timeout with 1:08 to play. And again, we'll keep it here and we'll remind you that next week, again, Preston's at home as they will host Pocatello, their last 2 games of the year, both at home. And we'll be on the air next week around 6:30 with the pregame show before the Indians and Pocatello meet up back home next week.
Next Friday.
Yep.
Last 2 games of the year. 2 next week and the week after. Shy of the playoffs, of course.
Have to see what happens. Is if they can win out, including tonight, that would get them to 5-4 on the year. And if that's going to be good enough for a regional berth, we'll wait and see. I would think that being over 500 would be able to get them some sort of a playoff berth. First down and 10, ball at the 10-yard line, so just outside the distance needed as Gibbons throws it up for grabs in the corner and is knocked away and out of bounds.
Two defenders and two offensive players all going up for that.
Got to figure somebody probably ran the wrong route. Yeah, there's a couple of defensive men or offensive players should not be that close together normally. But Gibbons was rolling right and then stopped and tried to throw all the way back across the field to the near sideline and fell incomplete. 1 minute exactly to play in the game. Stevens, the deep man in the I formation behind Gibbons. He'll give it to Stevens. Bounces off one man, bounces it outside. 3 or 4 Indians finally able to drag him down. And timeout again called by Preston with 46 seconds to play. Let's see where they're going to spot the ball. They'll spot it about the 15, so it's going to be a loss of yardage on the play. And it'll bring up third down with the ball on the 16-yard line. Remind you to join us for the post-game show. We'll talk about all the scoring plays. We'll wrap up the stats. What was a big night offensively for Preston at 300 yards in total offense in the first half. And certainly added to that the one touchdown they have here in the second half was a pass of 62 yards early on in the third quarter. And after that, just a field goal. And then pretty much after that, the coaching staff started to get some other playing time for some other players and kind of called off the Dogs. Gibbons going to roll left this time, wants to throw, pump fake a couple of times. Peck had him, but he gets it off anyway, and it's almost picked off, as it was, again, just over the head of Luke Schmelly, and just out of the reach. Otherwise, he would have had his second interception on the night. 4th and 7 coming up. 37 seconds to play in the game. And it'll be a happy bus ride home for a bunch of Preston Indians tonight.
It sure will. For the whole city, it's going to be a happy night.
So again, Gibbons under center on 4th down. Inside handoff. And they get near the 10-yard line. It's not going to be nearly enough for a first down. And Burley will turn it over on downs. And the Indian offense will come in, take a couple of knees, and this one will go in the books.
Been fun watching the momentum shift from that Central game that was played at Holt Arena 3 games ago.
Right.
And it really was. You could just see it take the wind out of the Indians on that loss. And the next game they came back and they made a little progress, a lot of progress last week. And here we are in this game. And the momentum shift over those 3 or 4 games has just been, well, absolutely visible. You can just feel it.
So Preston, I think, take a timeout to make sure they have the right people on the field. And now the offense in mass comes out right to the line of scrimmage as the normal backup quarterback, Garrett Ward, will come in. And let's see if they're just going to take a knee or two. Probably just need to take one with 29.7 seconds left in the game. Nope, it's actually Hunter Wright who's in there, as he will indeed take a knee, and they're just going to let the clock run so far as some of the offensive linemen start to shake hands with the defensive linemen, and now most of the Preston the Burley defense starts to walk away, and this one is in the books as they're going to let the clock run out. Down to 9-8. Teams lining up to shake hands at midfield with 5, with 4, 3, 2, and the 3-game losing streak is over as the Preston Indians come here to Burley and kind of flex their muscles offensively tonight against the Bobcat defense, and they'll come away with a 29-6 win here tonight as They snap the losing streak at 3. They improve their record. They're back to within a game of 500 as the Indians are now 3-4 on the year. They get their first win within the conference this year in an impressive fashion, winning it by the score of 29-6. For Burley, their 4-game losing streak now extended to 5 as they see their record go to 2-5. This is not a team that looks like they would have won the first 2 games of the year, but they did, and now they've lost 5 straight.
I wonder who their opponents were. I don't have the stats in front of me.
I can tell you that exactly. They played Shirley and Jerome. Shelley and Jerome.
And Jerome, okay.
Yeah. And then I take it back. They didn't win the first 2 games. They beat Jerome and then win at home against Canyon Ridge.
Okay.
In close games, but now they've lost 5 straight. So for Burley, they see their record slip to 2-5 on the year. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll recap tonight's game as it would be a happy bus ride home for the Preston Indians as they win by the final score of 29-6. We're back to wrap it up after this on 105.5 FM and AM 1340 along with mylocalradio.com.
In addition to local information and the best live coverage of local sports, you can stream music 24/7 at mylocalradio.com. Log on and choose the music you like best. Classic or modern country, indie, adult contemporary, or classic rock. Stream it live through your computer or cell phone. Listen to the music you want and don't miss the information you need. Like us on Facebook and visit mylocalradio.com today. As the seasons change, it's a good time to take a close look at your car and truck tires. Check the tread and look for signs of uneven wear. If you have a question, stop by Ron Keller Tire and have one of the tire experts take a look. If you need new tires to get you safely through, they'll help you select the right tires for your vehicle and driving style. With a huge inventory from several manufacturers, Ron Keller Tire can care for your tire needs at a price that's right. You can trust all your tire needs to Ron Keller Tire in Preston and North Logan.
Health West is a nationally recognized community health center that provides patient-centered health care for everyone. From newborn to complicated care, Health West is always accepting new patients in Medicaid, Medicare, insured, and even if you don't have insurance. Available in 8 locations throughout Southeast Idaho. Call 208-852-3200 for an appointment in Preston.
If you're doing some cleanup work around the yard, the house, the garage, or the farm, remember, you can turn scrap metal into cash when you take that metal to Idaho Salvage and Metal in Preston. They pay top dollar for aluminum cans, aluminum window and door frames, brass and steel. They take junk cars and trucks, farm equipment, and industrial gear. So rather than taking that stuff to the landfill, park it on the scales at Idaho Salvage and Metal on West Oneida in Preston.
Welcome you back here to the postgame wrap-up here of the postgame show from Burley High School. It was a happy night for the Preston Indians as they break their 3-game losing streak, winning by the final score of 29-6 here tonight. And it was my pleasure to work with Val Cook on the evening. An impressive game offensively and defensively tonight for the Indians.
And even on special teams. Special teams had some good plays, too.
Yep, we'll take you back and recap the scoring back in the first quarter. Very early on, it was a bad snap on a punt for Burley, led to a safety, and early on in the first half, Preston had a 2-0 lead. They turned that right around. They turned it into an 8-0 lead on a 2-yard touchdown run by Andrew Iverson. The extra point was good and made it 9-0. The second quarter, Scott Dunn, equaled his season high. He kicked a 38-yard field goal that made it 12-0. And then later on in the quarter, near the end of the first half, it was a 23-yard touchdown pass from Ty Hyde to Scott Dunn that made it 18-0. The point after made it 19-0, and that's the way we were at halftime. In the third quarter of tonight's game, very early on in the quarter, Hyde came out and hit Dunn again for a long touchdown, this one of 62 yards. Made it 25-0. The extra point made it 26-0. And then Dunn later on in the corner kicked a 22-yard field goal that made it 29-0. It was that point that Eric Thorson started to call off the dogs and get some of the other players some playing time. And in just kind of mop-up time in the fourth quarter, the only score tonight for the Burley Bobcats, an 8-yard touchdown run by their quarterback Ethan Gibbons made it 29-6. The 2-point conversion was no good, and that's the way the game ended. Impressive offensive stats tonight as well for Preston. Hyde, while he was in there, he was 6 of 11 passing for 203 yards, his biggest night of the year. So coming back off of last week where he threw for almost 200 yards, I think it was 197 last week, comes back and throws for 203. So a couple of impressive performances back-to-back for the Indian quarterback.
Very impressive, and the rushing game opened up that wide. How am I trying to say this? The rushing game was so good that it opened it up and enabled that kind of yardage to be put up in the passing game.
That's right, and the offensive line really made the offensive running game shine tonight, to the point where Caleb Hyde carried the ball 6 times for 62 yards. Isaiah Smith had a couple of carries for 17. Hyde had 2 carries for a total of 7, as did Ward, carried the ball twice for 21 yards. The biggest guy carrying the ball tonight was Andrew Iverson, who carried the ball unofficially 13 times for 117 yards on the night. We talked about the offensive line blowing open big holes, allowed cutback runs, and that's what a lot of those yards for Iverson came on.
And it was fun to watch. It was a good game to be a part of, and a lot of people from Preston were here.
It was.
I was amazed at how many people drove the 2 hours and 15 minutes to come up and watch the game.
Yep. So a good night overall for the Indians. They get back to within a game of 500. They're now 3-4. They snap their 3-game losing streak and get ready to come home and face Preston coming up next week. We'll take another time out. We'll come back and wrap up tonight's broadcast after this on 105.5 FM and AM 1340, along with mylocalradio.com.
Home sweet home. That's where you go for a home-cooked meal, a good night's sleep, and, well, people who just like you for who you are. So if you call Cache Valley home, we hope you'll call West Motor home. Home to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and of course home to Ram trucks. West Motor Company is home to so many car buyers in this area. It's because they treat you right and give you the best deal they can possibly finagle. Simply put, it feels right at West Motor. WestMotorCompany.com. Welcome home.
When the time finally comes to deliver your new little one, the comforts of home are vital. Franklin County Medical Center understands, and that's why the new maternity suites are designed with a warm family atmosphere, spacious rooms complete with sleeping accommodations for your partner, and state-of-the-art birthing equipment. At Franklin County Medical Center, your new arrival will be welcomed into the world safely, and the expert staff will ensure you're relaxed and comfortable. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and excellence meet.
Welcome back. We'll wrap up tonight's broadcast as Preston picks up an impressive 29-6 win here in Burley tonight, as they'll go home. And tonight was actually their final road game of the year. They go home and play Pocatello next Friday night. And we'll have that game for you on AM 1340 next week as they come home to look to get back to even 500 and certainly try to galvanize even more a possible spot in postseason as the games start to wind away. And Val Cook will ask you about some final thoughts on tonight's game. What was an impressive win for the Preston Indians?
Well, one of the coaches leaving the press box that was up here in the press box for the game, he indicated that they need just one more win to make the playoffs, so I thought I'd bring that up.
Well, good.
So hopefully against Pocatello we'll know whether we're going to see some postseason action. So
get 2 chances at home coming up. So it all starts next week against Pocatello. So,
but my thoughts, you ask,
yes.
And I've talked about them earlier and throughout the game. But my thoughts are, go back to Coach Thorson's comments in the pregame show, where he got a lot of compliments, and the team got a lot of compliments for how well they played last week against the #1 team in the state, but it was still a loss.
Mm-hmm.
And he was worried that the team would get complacent.
Right.
They didn't.
No, they certainly didn't.
They continued to improve. They brought more energy than they've had in the last 4 games, and they're going out with a win.
Yeah, and they scored 29 points tonight. When you think about it, if a couple of those long passes that Ty Hyde threw in the first half, if those connect, it's an even more lopsided score because it could have been another 14 or 21 points.
Exactly.
And he just missed on a couple of long passes that could have really made this game a blowout. So
and that's just in 2 or 3 plays.
Yeah, exactly.
2 or 3 plays make the difference.
Gives you another Ron Keller Tire update here before we go. At the last update we had from down in Provo, the Utah State Aggies were leading 35-13 over BYU. That's toward the end of quarter number 3. Fortunately, we can't bring you any high school scores for tonight, just not available to us. So we'll call it a night as far as the Ron Keller scoreboard is concerned. So we will talk to you again next week with Pocatello coming to town. We'll be on the air around 6:30, 6:40 coming up next week as the Indians come home for their final 2 games of the season. It all starts next week against Pocatello. Tonight's game has been brought to you in part by Ron Keller Tire, Valley Implement, Preston Auto Parts, and AutoQuest. Also by Lewiston State Bank, Franklin County Medical Center, My Local Radio, West Motors, Storks Market and True Value, S&T Electric, Vantage Plus, Federal Credit Union, and Idaho Salvage. We thank them for their sponsorship of tonight's game, which allows us to bring you Indian football all year long. We'll look for you next Friday night. So until then, for Val Cook, I'm Dan Hubbard. Thanks for listening, and enjoy your weekend, everybody. Final score once again from here in Burley. The Indians pick up a 29-6 win, and wish everybody a very enjoyable weekend.